the reason United spent money on 2 number 10s.
Your manager said it himself.
Relax. The reason United spent money on 2 number 10s, right?
Amorim said it himself. Amorim said it himself. Bro, the manager said that this season he wants to play Bruno deeper. Why? If he wants Bruno at the number 10, why would he say he wants to play Bruno deeper this season? Why would he say that?
You don't have any player to progress the ball. That's why he's playing Bruno there.
Yeah, then what's your argument then?
Because say everybody finish food, you go wash plate. No make you leader. You just choose say you want wash plate.
If I'm sitting and watching that French team, what was Pogba doing in the team that I would sit down and say this guy is a leader in the team? Giroud was leading the line, connecting play.
Was Pogba not doing his basic role as well?
In France 98.
Was Pogba not doing his basic role as well?
IBK, hold on.
Baba, see, if you want to do this show, come on the show. If you want to do the show, come on the show. You mic yourself. Stop interrupting me.
If you
And it's because we're boring fake. It's fake. No. Give me 5 million. You understand?
You know, the guys are like characters in a film. It's like a weekly TV show. I think the camaraderie between the guys, myself, Ini, IBK, Wale, of course, as well as Rufai, creates an interesting dynamic that I think the viewers certainly relate to.
CHP over the years has been a necessity, still is a necessity, you know, at a time where everything feels fast and regurgitated.
Our culture space was craving realness, heritage, and intention, and that is why I'm able to be myself on the podcast.
Oh yeah, now predict that now.
I've seen games like these.
Predict that.
We've been able to move with clarity to deliver something with restraint, depth, and timeless wit. And in many ways, we've been able to reset the standard to show what is possible from an African cultural and storytelling perspective.
In the first half,
I don't know the game that you watched, but in that first half, the team that looked like they were going to score the most was us.
For us, it's not punditry, it's artistry. There's a self-awareness to what we're doing. For us, we're driving our cultural nuances in every single conversation, and I think that's what we keep trying to do. THP at season 6 is a proof that when your product is sharp and your values are intact and your timing is intentional, you have a chance of building something that is authentic.
We're playing a different game, not one based on virality or chasing the algorithm, but one built on value.
We're not looking to scale at all costs. We're building substance, and we want that to scale over time.
After 6 solid years with the guys, I realized that we are not just a sports show that's entertaining, but an entertainment show that truly knows sport. I'm sure you know that already.
He just needs more oil. I will call it down 70,000. I said, this guy, he would never make it.
But all of this means nothing if no one is ready to receive it. And that's where you, the viewers, come in.
Thank you for allowing us to play our position and allowing our work to speak for itself.
So every now and then I go somewhere to different places and someone recognizes you. And that totally humbles me because of the fantastic community we've been able to build.
All of this is not enough without you guys.
Thank you and welcome.
Welcome to season 6.
Chai. Oh, Chim.
How you find me will start since.
you want? I don't know. I don't know IBK well. Okay, I don't want act. And me, I'm good. It's good for content.
Well, so now we're in the trenches. You don't even bother give us cup. We got no liquid inside.
All right, let's go. Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight Podcast Studios. I am Yubi, and so joined by 4 gentlemen who are very ready to talk about all the big elephants in the room. Speaking of elephants in the room, let's start off with the man who's back from international break. Before an international break, let's start off with Emeka and Wani. Emeka, it's good to see you on the show, especially off the back of what has been an interesting midweek set of game. I want to say games, but it's pretty much also one game. Emeka, how was the holiday? Good.
Yeah, good. Miami with the friends.
I saw the Cuban links out.
Emeka was chilling with OBU.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah,
you don't get that all the time.
Yeah, no, like that's a childhood friend. So
yeah,
it was a great one.
Yep.
All of 6 of us from the same class. We were all there together with him.
Nice.
And Miami with the friends. So yeah, it was
lovely. I imagine that you left the family on this side of town and went to that side of town. Yeah.
A small break.
Small
but-
break, yeah?
Yeah. Man, you brought everything back to earth.
I know, man. I saw Emeka with the durag, the Cuban. I was like,
Yeah.
Emeka is certainly, he's in holiday mode,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But speaking of, bringing people back, one person we've taken out of the set because, he sort of like talks too much. But, Mr. Ine on Monday. Good to have Ine on the show as well.
Fantastic.
Ine, we know that, going forward, if we have a guest, we'll put you there because your energy is contagious. So that's the tactical reason we put you on the flank.
It's a tactical decision.
It's tactical decision.
You get so that the system doesn't get faulted.
Yep. But no, it's kidding. Good
I
to
see what you did
back on the show.
there.
Ine, are you okay?
Yeah, good. Absolutely.
Ine is
good.
telling us ahead of time that there will be an hiatus.
International break.
International break.
International break.
It's going away with the international break.
A
So
long layoff.
you will see Ine for at least 4 weeks.
John is hamstring.
Right. Abike is here on the show as well. Abike, I sense that Abike has been honing us to start the recording. So I sense that today we have an Oscar-winning performance, in the making.
Look at that
Right.
wait to something they enter my trouser. So we person they see snake when they show for roof for Australia. Something they took me for leg. Okay.
Someone said, speaking of snake, I saw a tweet, right? Someone said, that please help me. What can I do? This snake has been in my house for 3 months, right?
you are living. I want to believe you have moved out since that 3
It only
months.
comes out in the night. In the daytime, it hides. We've done everything. We've burnt pepper with charcoal. We've done everything. You see in the house. What can I do? I say, this girl get mine.
You are in the house.
You're in the house.
You are living with the snake.
So you're living with a snake. For
He
3
says
months.
I can't do anything.
So I can't say it's nothing to do. I said, what do you mean?
Me
can't do
say you
anything?
won't tell me alone. Say you just tell me. Say you don't go see me for that house again.
Oh my god. So that's
Somebody say that they take. Make I find out. So that they take. Or that they take one chicken. So make I first find out. This is too funny.
that's
You
ridiculous,
say
man.
you take one fowl, they beg Juju for 500 million. Or that really they take Lucifer for granted. Say take one fowl, they beg Juju for 500 million.
Honestly, man. But I thought this week, this week, what I wanted to do this week was to replace the meme watch, and the guys spoke about this in the group, to replace the meme watch with what has been a very interesting set of feedbacks we've gotten from everyone who's watched the podcast in the first 2 weeks of the season. And I just wanted to read out a couple of comments that really stood well with the producer, and he sent me a couple to read out. This is from a guy called Ralph Lyon, right? He says, I think we can agree from this episode, the new slang for this season is, I don't remove stone from under your leg, right? Last season's was relaxo. So that was really nice. I think we have a couple more. I'm going to read out at least 5 more, right, before we get into it, right? Someone said, I've been watching, it's actually Abel Jeremiah, yeah. Says, I've been watching watching a lot of football podcasts. There's just something different with you guys. The quality in personnel and production is quite clear. So I thought, when I see comments like this, I honestly wonder exactly, how much, influence, you gentlemen have. And, it's just special to see. I'm going to read out another one, which reads, with this episode, I appreciate the maturity of the discussion, particularly the fact that each participant is allowed to fully articulate their thoughts without interruption. This approach, facilitates a more comprehensive understanding and fosters, productive dialogue. So, yep, I read that for Ini because
I don't understand. What kind of accusation?
It is in one culprit of that.
Not be only culprit.
Yep.
Never.
You can never.
Cultivation.
But this one was actually really special, and I think it came all the way from South Africa. Someone said, "I'm from South Africa, right?" And there's no football show like this one where you hear people, talk football with so much analysis. Big ups to the show. And there are tons more. Thanks to everyone who messages us on YouTube and Instagram, of course.
The YouTube comments are quite special.
YouTube comments are special, honestly, right? And that's not a platform that you naturally be.
Yeah, it's a lot difficult to get audience.
Text, people. So that's really good. But just
Instagram
checking.
people will soon tell you people now. Say, so what are we to you people?
Right.
No. Instagram people Instagram people are special as well, but it's just that YouTube people, Instagram people, I love them for the bants. Sometimes so the YouTube people are more. They try to connect with you
community.
emotionally.
YouTube is
they go through the entire clip,
core
2 hours
community.
plus.
Core
and they even ask for more.
Yeah, core community.
It's 2 hours.
The
They're
issue with
asking for
YouTube
more.
is say anybody will comment for YouTube. Don't watch the video where.
Do you understand?
You
So
get it.
Yeah, no, it's core community.
Yeah,
Core,
so-
like I don't think that if the people that are on YouTube are people that and we have about 10K, one subscribers there.
Yeah.
I think that those 10K people are totally. This is like they don't go to Instagram to watch. They subscribe. They wait for notifications.
Sure.
When it drops, they watch.
Yep.
I see people saying I'm the first to watch this. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm up watching the stuff. So this is really brilliant.
I think I saw that thing on TikTok as well.
Right.
First to comment.
But what we wanted to do this season, we did mention we're going to add, 2 bona fide members of the podcast, to the core team, and Emeka is one of them. So Emeka has given us the green lights, right? His vocals are in. We would have Emeka.
Personal terms agreed.
Personal terms agreed. So Emeka will be here for at least 2 episodes a month. Emeka, is that okay?
Yeah.
2 episodes a month.
Yeah.
Good stuff, right? So here we
go.
for Emeka, right?
We only wanted hindsight podcast.
Yeah.
You only wanted
Chelsea.
And you've been following since you were a kid, right?
and you give priority to us, right?
So many other platforms, but he made it clear. He only wanted.
Show it be 6 years. You say you don't watch out since you be kid.
But one most important thing is that he waived a lot of his fees. He waived a lot of his fees. He waived a lot of his fees. So that's really good. I want us to start with no place else that we can start, right? And it's the elephant in the room. And the core community on YouTube will probably watch some of the BTS, and myself, Emeka, Rufai, IBK, to some lesser degree, and Ini have been going back and forth on the potential the discourse around what we saw last night against Grimsby. And I want to start off by laying a precedent and saying that on this particular podcast, what we do very well, right, is to look a bit beyond, the rhetoric, right, on social media. And I think we'll bring that to the fore today, as I trust the guys would do. I want to start off with saying that if you isolate yesterday's performance, right, yesterday's result, isolate it, the chaos that is brewing is not actually, it's almost like an aberration, so to speak, right? Because I thought we all established that here. The first game against Arsenal, of course, it's a loser's rhetoric. We played well, right? Against Fulham, again, United could have been outside in the first 15 minutes, right? So yesterday's isolated performance. No. Again, yesterday's performance was, for me, isolated, right? But let's go into it in detail. Emeka, what do you think? What do you think was the reason United lost yesterday?
Okay, so I think you set it up well. I think before we get into I think with United, the margins are so fine, and I feel we're a team that, like, confidence is everything. Like, I promise you, if United get a point or win the Arsenal game, the Fulham game is not as tense.
Yeah.
This other game is not as tense. But they're just so mentally fragile and scarred from all the mishaps and problems over the last few years. Going into that Grimsby game, we drew against Fulham 1-1, and the whole, like, during the whole commentary since then has been like, you think that, like, the season is over.
Done,
Like, there's just no middle ground. So going into Grimsby, I think for me, it was not a tactical issue. I know Amorim, like, I was very emotional yesterday as well, in the sense of, like, this guy has to go, blah blah blah. But, like, more sober this morning, when you analyze the first 2 games, analyze the preseason, like, myself and UB were up. I remember, like, I'll be seeing his tweets like 3 a.m. on a work day while watching preseason in the US. So, like, there are a lot of things that have improved. But that Grimsby game, I think it was a thing of attitude, efforts. I was psychotic enough to actually watch the first half again this morning, and a lot of it was efforts more than system to me. Of course, there are obviously systematic problems, but for me, it was effort and attitude. And I just feel that those boys are, like, I think they're mentally gone. Like, once there's any setback, after that first goal went in, you could see, I think it was Heaven and Fredrickson, like, the 2 kids that came in at the back. Like, they're already like, oh my God, here we go again. And then almost like, it was almost like, I remember watching it and being like, almost like even the God was, when the rain started, it was torrential rain. It was like everything was just like, it just kind of seemed like this was just, this the date to just the death of the club. But for me, Amorim, I think if we're going to look at Amorim himself, in the second half, how we, again, as you should, against a League 2 team, was very comfortable. We pinned them back. That's how it should have been. So it shows that tactically that you can do what you're meant to do. But the fact that the disparity between the two halves for me showed it was more attitude, it was more effort, it was more complacency than for me tactics.
I saw a video a clip where he was
arranging it. There's zero. Even the fact that there was that issue in the first half where there's attitude and like that in itself can get someone sacked. And if Amorim is sacked today, he can have zero complaints, right? Zero complaints.
Hold on, guys. I saw a video where he was, arranging, taxes and things like that.
Tactics board against Grimsby.
Like there's some things you don't.
It didn't look good.
Not a good look at all.
And he couldn't even look at the penalty shootout. I was like, against the League Two.
That one time person won't die.
So what I believe, right? And I said this on the Monday recording with the guys. And I said, look, you have to understand when analyzing United's predicaments, you have to create a context, because without that context, right, you would be flailing. Your arguments would be, pinballing across, different places. And I said, look, when you've had the season United have had last year, you finished 15th, right? You lost the final, come to a new season, right? You are expecting that your best chance of getting anything of a positive narrative is to win the first game. Right, or else the problems are right.
It starts again.
The problem starts again immediately. Right? The noise starts again. So here you are. Your first game is against Arsenal, right? And if you agree, no matter what United have done this summer, Arsenal is still better team than United, right? Sure. So it's always going to be a tough task, right? And United go out there and play what they play, you lose the game, right? So already you're almost like it's almost as if the 1 month the chasm is closed. Like it's like you're back to where you were in the Europa League final,
and the noise is just
back again, right? Then you go and play Fulham, right? And there you should beat Fulham. But let's not forget, right? Fulham and Chelsea will play them this weekend, right? Fulham are not Burnley. They're not Leeds United. They are not...
their record against the big teams last year at home was very good.
It's brilliant, right? So again, I'm not making excuses, but that's why I say you can understand where United are and why the noise is there. The problem with Grimsby yesterday, for me, Emeka said it rightly. Because we saw the thing against the Ten Hag last year. We're leading 3-0. No?
Against Coventry.
They pegged them back to 3-3. And we won on penalties.
And this is 4 at the back, or not 5 at the back.
This is 4 at the back, right? So, all the rhetoric I've seen on social media yesterday was like, oh, Amorim is so stubborn, he needs to get this sack, he needs to go. I disagree. I disagree strongly because I think that on the evidence of what we've seen in the first 2 games, I think the system is not the problem, right? Every system has its trade-offs, it has its pros, it has its cons, but I don't know how you play Grimsby and you watch the first half of that game and you cannot quite see that it's clearly, I don't want to run further than this guy, I want him more than this guy. When you visit a League 2 team or a League 4 team, you know that from the moment that draw was made, their entire final, their season, that's their season.
It's their career highlight.
That's their career, you get. So you have a couple of players who have gone in there thinking, by and large, should be enough. Yeah. Whatever we do should be enough. We should beat Grimsby. Right? That's what has happened there. And it's not an Amorim thing, it's happened before.
But that's the way it should be.
But rival because
that's not how it should be.
I just want
you are playing a League 2.
I just want the United perspective. So 2 things. Yeah. I think when we talk about psychological, like the analogy I have in my head when I watch United play, right, we're very much like that boxer, right? We start fast, but when someone catches you like you know, like, who was it? I think it was my friend that said that everybody has plans until you get
punched in the face.
Punch in the face. Like for us, again, because of those scars, like we can actually be looking very good, like looking very solid, like we're dominating the game, and then either we don't capitalize and we lose confidence, or the other team does something, and then all plans go out.
It's more work and reward, right? All the work United have done in trusting the system has not been rewarded. You understand?
And they lost with confidence.
So once they get punched in the face, you know.
And second point on that about the system, because I know that's where you guys are going to then go to.
Yeah.
I would say the system wasn't the issue yesterday, but I don't agree that there's nothing wrong with the system. Because you also said
fair.
So I like when we talk about, you know, him not being flexible, him not this and that, I feel like when we're talking about I don't think even him not being flexible is the issue. I think his implementation of the system is very poor. Because when we look at like an Enrique or all these managers that say maybe they're not flexible enough, at least if this is his system, and he's not, let's say this is the system, he's not being flexible with it. At least in this your system that you're exactly this is your system that you're not flexible about. At least he will show us something. So like for me, like when like I said that with an Enrique or let's say a Klopp with his like young press back then, like they might never change it, but at least in that system, you're seeing why they're never changing it. But in this system, it's very much like, okay, I'm not flexible, and this is what I want to play, and okay, this is what I want to play, but like there's been no in the Premier League. It's too early. In the Premier League, but it's been a year now, and in the Premier League, like there's been pretty much zero positives in terms of the system. In the system,
but the sample size,
in
right?
The system, so you see something. So
Amorim arrived last year in November, right?
Yeah.
After this November.
Again, I don't think he should be sacked now, but like in the system,
right? And for me, I think that when this
is therapy for us guys. Just give us.
When you lay out a plan,
just give us
right.
Just give us like it's therapy. Let us help. Allow us.
Right. When you lay out a plan, right? You lay out a plan with all the information you have, right, and all your good judgments, right? This is the guy we're hiring. This are the players we're signing. This is the amount of time it will take to get this work done. That's in good judgment, right? You make all of that with, everybody's input. When you start this season, everybody agreed at the start of the season that this year is the year that Amorim needs to show that this system can work and we're going to back the system, right? Tell me how after 2 weeks of the season, right, everybody agrees now that you should fire the manager. So hold on, because if you say that, and then the same set of fans come out tomorrow and say, but you never allowed the manager time to implement his system, or you never allowed. I don't think United have allowed.
If you don't sack him last year, then you have to give him time.
You have to give him time. So you get, and you can take it away. I have literally nothing more to say about the Amorim thing.
I think that I might agree with one aspect of what you said, in the sense that I think the manager is just being unfairly judged. There is what we
it's fairly judged. It's fairly judged.
There is what we call character of a team, and I think when we were talking before we came here, I made mention of the fact that there are standards that clubs set. And I honestly think we are overanalyzing the fact that United lost to a League 2 side. I think there is no need to talk about tactical angle there, because there are people you play and you probably don't even need the coach to be there.
Yeah.
So I feel that it's more of the character issue. Like you said, you lost against Arsenal. You felt, we could go again. It affected you. You went to Fulham. You drew, and it was like, you cannot play for. Let me bring in Madrid and Barca now. You cannot play for a team like Real Madrid and Barcelona and think that you won't have a big character. Like, you must have the balls to play for teams like that. You can't see Madrid. You can't see Barca.
Isn't that the character they're trying to build in the team?
That's what I'm saying. That I think it's not even about the coach. I think it's not even about the coach, because
but that's how we arrived here.
I said when Ten Hag was sacked last season, I said I was the only person saying on this table that this is someone that has enjoyed like some level of success before he came to Man United.
To make the liver, maybe they collect.
Hold on. Same thing with Amorim. Amorim enjoyed level. Amorim was beating almost everybody. Look at the success. When look at Champions League record. Look at what he was doing in the league.
We know what he was doing. Come back to what he's doing now.
What I'm saying is that I think that we should understand that the coaches should not always be the one, being punished for this. I think it's a character issue.
Let me say this.
I feel that the set of players
that will never happen.
Can I just establish? Can I just establish this
that
now?
Will never happen.
That any decision United take, right, whether they keep him or sack him, is probably Novell will be justified.
But the next coach you are bringing in,
hold on. We still have the same problem.
No.
Yes.
It's a character issue.
For sure.
Hold on. You go to Liverpool, you go to Madrid, they tell you, they define the club to you. They make you understand the club you are playing for.
I mean, instead of your Madrid and Barca examples, for me,
I'm even saying Liverpool. I'm even saying Liverpool. They tell you the kind of club you are playing for.
To add context to that, they do that to United, but the difference is, those clubs, they have players that are good enough. So, like, the reason why United is so toxic is the level of expectation versus the quality.
What was McTominay doing in Italy?
You can't compare the level.
I feel that the players are. I feel that
McTominay scored 10. He scored the same amount of goals in Man U.
Hold on, please. I feel that
he scored the same amount of goals.
Hold on. I feel that the players are individually very good.
They're not.
But it's a mentality issue.
McTominay, apart from McTominay, who else?
Let me say
so
this.
is all these Luke Shaw Ahmad Cunha, all these guys, Sesko, are they starting for Madrid?
I will say this.
If Madrid and Barca, when you guys were having your struggles, and you were having all these, when you were under before Xavi, and you guys were kind of up and down. When you had like you had players that were playing for Barca but were not Barca quality.
Yeah.
When you have that disparity, is what causes that toxicity, because there's expectations that people can meet up.
Let me say, I think that if we agree that what happened against Grizzlies, it can't be a tactical or a system thing. There's just a team that you should beat, and it's a character thing. Then Amorim still has to be at fault for it. Why is that? If you have done almost 1 year in the club and your players do not have the level of dedication they should have in a game like that, there is nobody I can blame for it. It has to be you.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. Either way, United go right,
because
they had to fire him, justify it. Keep him, justify
Grimsby.
Yeah, right.
You can literally go into the game and say, Maguire, take over this thing, get the job done. Like, so if they don't have the level of dedication and they are not running, if they ever go into that game thinking it's Grimsby will beat them, you have failed.
But I guess his response to that would be like, isn't that the same thing that got other managers, like those same players did the same thing to other managers?
Then when he has come in, they've allowed him
more time to that's what he would say.
They've allowed him Rashford,
that's why I say
out the team,
justified as
Rashford out the team, Sancho out the team, Garnacho out the team. Bad eggs. We all agreed, okay, they handed him the key to the kingdom. Build whatever you need to build. And I know, I was always talking about, when your building has fallen completely, winning, especially now in football, it goes a longer way than talent. It's a culture you have to build back up, brick by brick. I remember saying it when Chelsea were on that porch and everything was happening. You have to build it back brick by brick. That said, when you have done almost a year, and they've handed you the keys to be able to say, Garnacho, you're out, all these people, you're out. Yeah. Then there's a little Grimsby, because that's the problem. If the problem is that your guys do not have enough dedication, enough motivation to go in and beat Grimsby, there's something there that has failed.
I want to ask a question, right? What builds culture in a football club?
Winning.
Right.
What builds is winning. Who?
Okay, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody can have a take. What builds culture in a football club?
Is winning.
I think it's more of antecedents. We're winning as well. Like
it's what intentionality.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did Ferguson build the culture at United? It's not a trick question.
He's winning.
Yeah, I think you set expectations and demands on your players.
Right. He's winning. And then you said the things
and being ruthless.
I don't think
ruthlessness.
I don't think it's what. I think it's who builds culture at the football club.
Yeah, we are answering the question.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's more of if you play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, you don't need anybody doesn't need to tell you about culture at that club. The culture sets itself because of the antecedent, like Abike said.
And the ruthlessness of the system.
But if you haven't won consistently for a very long time, then it has to be who builds culture.
The culture doesn't set itself.
That's what I'm saying.
The culture is mirrored.
The culture has been set.
The culture has been set, right?
That's what you're saying.
You can see the culture and you mirror the culture. You understand?
United had a culture under Fergie.
Right.
Post Fergie, culture was completely out of the window. Completely out of the window.
Broken down. Not out of the window immediately. Broken down.
Yeah, broken down. So someone needs to build it up. It will not build itself. You can't come and
let me finish my thoughts.
Oh no, okay.
Go.
You never finished since.
No, you caught me now. So there's something.
Caught one.
There's something there if these guys don't have the motivation needed to go and play Grimsby. That said, in the Grimsby game as well, and I'm not saying that Amorim has to be fired. Like you guys have said, if they fire him, we would understand.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying he has to be fired. However, if I'm on the United board and I'm looking at how Amorim conducted himself in the entirety of that game, there is no way the question of whether or not this guy is good enough to be able to build what we need him to build, even if we give him time. There's no way that question won't come up. Because I can't understand why it is Grimsby. You can't watch the penalty. You have a tactics book. There might be, I don't know, if United had won, that all of that won't be an issue. But the fact that they lost, now it will propagate it's Grimsby town. What is it? The tactics book thing almost even felt as if he had to go and recheck to check if everybody is where they are supposed to be. And then, am I sure? Like
utter woke nonsense.
I don't know why that is needed in a game like that when you are almost a year in. So as a manager, when I remember when United lost that final, I said you have to isolate it, leave it. You can't. It came in when you can't judge him and the team off of that final, you know. But how many months after that now? It cannot be that your players don't have the dedication.
How many months? How many months?
I think
Again, I'm not holding brief for Amorim. You understand? And honestly, I think that if you have a better manager on the market now, fire him now.
I think I want to
You
answer
understand?
you this question of
Bro, hold
culture.
on. Relax. You answer him.
You have moved on from that.
No. I need to say something, but listen.
Right. If there's a better manager on the market today, fire him. Do you understand? But I still do think that when you say the last game of the season was the Europa League final, we lost that game, right? You then move on to the first game of the season. Everybody literally went away after that game. Like, you know, went to Asia, then everybody went away. You can't expect that you can't count the 3 months you get or 2 months of the break and say, oh, a lot should have changed in that period.
No, I will. The reason I will is Grimsby we're talking about. The reason I will count it is because when a new coach like Amorim comes in, under that circumstance, and then you lose the Europa League final, and then you went and played whatever tournament that you went and played, which is more extra games, and then you went on break, I can guarantee you that on that break, every single player on that team has a routine because this is how we want you to return to the new season.
Yeah.
If they did not do that, Amorim doesn't know what he's doing.
Nobody did do that.
Exactly. So if you have done that, that means there's a level they expect you to return physically. And now you have now returned to preseason. You have now played preseason. Remember, I'm speaking on the context of playing Grimsby. Now, there's a physical return they need you to come back with. That's why they've done all of that. And then you now come back to preseason, right? You have now had an extra 3 weeks to 1 month with the coach, in addition to everything you have done. And you are playing Grimsby. And the problem is that you don't have the extra month. It's effort.
The effort is not physical. No. Hold on.
Effort is not physical.
But your effort is
you
a
are able
function.
to apply more effort if you are physically on point.
You are
was more mental.
No. Effort is not physical. You are able to apply more effort if you are you're in top physical shape. I'm not speaking Latin. It's very easy. If you are in top physical shape, what you want to do in your mind. Have you ever heard a player tell you, even if you are not fit to control the ball, you can't?
I get your point, but I don't think
it doesn't apply. You are trying to shoehorn the point.
I'm not saying it necessarily applies. I am asking a question. And you guys have said, and you guys have said they did that. What I'm saying is that you can't do all of that and then say that the problem against Grimsby is effort and motivation.
It's mental.
That's my problem.
Okay, let him come in. So
it's mental.
You be made mention of what builds culture, and I will just.
And guys, if you're on the pod, if you want to answer the question, hold on a sec. If you want to answer the question about what builds culture, you should just leave the comment now.
I'll just make use of 3 examples: Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. When Madrid employed Lopetegui, that was I think some years back. He started losing some games, and they didn't say, "Oh, he just came into the job." Within I think 4 months or thereabout.
Who were the players at Madrid?
They told him.
Do you remember?
They told him to leave.
Who were the players at Madrid?
Ronaldo was there as at that time. Fine. When Abramovich was the owner of Chelsea, he won't give you so much time. I think that
who were the players at the club?
What builds culture is actually
who were the players at the club?
The ruthlessness of the owners or those in charge of.
United have done how many managers?
When Amorim had a terrible record in the Premier League last season, finished 15th and still lost the Europa League. If Amorim was to be coaching under Abramovich, if he was to be under what was this owner of Madrid, this president of Madrid, Florentino Perez, if he was to be a Barca coach,
but you won't have a job. But you just said the manager can always be fired.
No way.
But you just said.
But those owners
I'm just answering your own question.
They don't have let those teams get into those situations in the first place.
That's what I'm saying. That for you to build a proper culture, you need to be very ruthless.
But you need to know what you're doing at the club.
I don't know how Amorim retained his job. Finishing 15th and also losing the Europa League. Whether you came in 6 months ago, whether you came in 3 months ago.
No, Abike, it's not on our podcast. It's on this particular recording.
Yes.
You said the manager cannot always be the one fired. How does that not contradict what you just said like 30 minutes ago?
No, I'm just answering your own issue of.
No, but okay, so those owners you
mentioned, your own issue of culture. That's what I'm saying.
Those owners you mentioned,
it's a different thing. I'm just answering your own issue of culture.
Okay, so those owners you mentioned, would they have let their clubs get into the decay that United have going into?
No chance.
So when you're talking about Lopetegui getting sacked, Yes, you get sacked when you have a player that can score 70 goals in a season.
Yeah, you
This at United now, there's a reason.
Is this score that bad?
At United now, there's a reason why they give managers time, because every other manager has had similar players and they've also got fired. There's a general malaise with the club that has been a problem, even though we've still won trophies in that same period. But it's like, okay, the last manager had these players, they struggled, he got fired. So if you now get a manager like we said with Amorim, it's like, why would you get him in the first place just to sack him? You might as well give him time.
And another problem.
Abramovich will never have had a club playing Europa League football, trying to survive, trying to get just to win that so you can get some money. Like the expectation is different.
Another problem.
How do you think? I just want to ask, right? How do you think United got themselves into the problem post Fergie they got themselves into? Just top of your head.
I think the standards at the club started dropping, and it started dropping slowly. And
How so?
You know, because
Ownership, leadership.
after Fergie, they brought in David Moyes, and it was a horrible decision. You know, because you can't always question Fergie, but it's the one thing he didn't do well in terms of choosing the right successor. Obviously, you know, we hear that there was, you know, a conversation with Pep and a few other managers and all of that. But post Moyes,
His leadership.
United, you know, the leadership at the club, and maybe coincide with the fact that they started losing a lot of the top players at the club, Fergie, Ferdinand, Vidic, you know, Evra. And these were the core of the team, you know, the leaders in the team. United started losing. And when you start losing leaders like that, the leadership at the club, and I'm not even talking from a player perspective, I'm talking, you know, upstairs. The leadership at the club just felt like, you know, we have money, we can throw money at solving the problem.
So, Ini, I'm gonna come in here because you're arriving. You understand? When Fergie left, right? There was a double whammy, right? David Gill left us. There was a leadership vacuum in the team, right? Now, a leadership vacuum means that going forward, right, there is no custodian of the ethos of the team's culture.
Yeah.
Do you understand? There's no custodian, right? Because you had an aging team that immediately also, you know, everybody say, you know what? I can't see Gill here. I can't see Fergie here.
Yeah.
I'm off.
Everyone else started bringing their own nonsense.
So everybody started cooking their own. And you now had an investment banker with all due respect to the money you made for the club, right? In the football club, right? So I want to, the reason I brought this up was to establish the origin of the problem, right? So when you speak about, when you speak about Florentino Perez and co, he would never have allowed that happen in his football club.
Yeah, fact.
Do you understand? Right? So the issues at United now are played out ultimately because it started from somewhere. Now, to get the club back on track, the first thing you must do is go back to the leadership. The driver, right? Who is the one driving the vision of the football club? In 11 years or 13 years, this is the first time United have a football leadership group.
Yeah.
In the football club.
It's been very intentional. But I don't think people will know that because...
Of course, they're not football fans. They're not the United fans, you understand? But again, I might make an excuse that it's fine.
We do,
but
please.
this,
It's not because we're not United fans. We
right,
do.
But this is the first time, right? Even when Chelsea, the custodian of Chelsea's, the modern Chelsea, you know, identity is Abramovich, right? By hook or crook or by luck, Abramovich knew how to run a football club, right? And he ran it damn well successfully. And when he left, right, you could see Chelsea veering off.
Yeah.
You get finding their feet. They stumble on it. They got in a couple of guys, stabilized.
But sorry, Yumi. Sorry,
no. I will allow it.
No, wait. Rufai, let me go. Hold on.
They made scandalous mistakes. So it was intentional.
The Chelsea situation, and it's great that you brought the Chelsea situation up because
you think I'm holding my phone for nothing.
with Chelsea got to a point, and I was saying it to Rufai before you came into the studio. The first step to redemption, in my opinion, I always say, is self-admittance. Being aware, this is where we are now. United are a massive institution, by far the biggest club in England, as an institution. But in terms of football on the pitch, United are not that big a club anymore. And United need to come to that terms that we're not that great a club anymore. Because it's good that you brought the Chelsea conversation.
But that's contradictory.
Hold on. When Abramovich left, hold on.
The club is the institution.
No,
right?
hold on.
So you say they're massive.
No,
they will not come to terms.
Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world. Nigeria is this
Giant
on
of
Africa,
Africa.
the giant of Africa. But the reality is that I don't want to say it, but we're a joke of a country at the moment. Let's tell ourselves the truth.
It's an
We're a
oxymoron.
joke of a country. No,
Please,
hold on.
go back to what you're saying.
No. With Chelsea got to a point where they realized
I have to hear.
I beg.
post Abramovich era, Chelsea realized that we used to win a lot of trophies. We used to be a forward-going club. We used to
Powerhouse.
challenge for trophies season in, season out. But that model has gone with that guy. We need to start something afresh. Chelsea started buying young players everywhere around the world. And we're sitting down saying, oh, Chelsea don't know what they're doing.
You skipped it. They
No,
flailed.
hold on.
You skipped
So
the part where they flailed.
that admittance of we need to go in a different direction or do things or really go
When
afresh.
did they finally admit that?
You know,
When did they finally admit it?
that admittance with when did you see Chelsea going around the world buying 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds
And so
under
when did they
Abramovich?
finally admit
When
that?
now?
It was when Abramovich left.
No.
Wasn't it immediately?
No, it was when Abramovich left.
It was when
No, it was
Abramovich left.
Abramovich
So
left.
when Abramovich
I get
left,
what you guys are saying. What you guys are saying is the first part where they flayed. It was the same ideology, but they picked the wrong manager. They wanted to pick a young manager that would start and build again, but they picked the wrong. It was the same ideology. They picked the wrong person, right? That's why they went and hired Potter. There's no other reason why they would go and hire Potter. It was because, okay, we want somebody that will build with, that will come in and will. That's why did they give Potter a 5-year deal? Was it a 4-year deal? You understand? They picked the wrong person. The moment Abramovich left and these new guys came in, they started buying young players all across the field.
The point is,
and some of the first deals they did was 20-something-year-old Enzo and then Caicedo. And so the idea is that they made really ridiculous mistakes. One of the mistakes was Todd Bowley thinking he can be a sporting director. The moment that failed, they were very quick in scrapping it. It did not last. We need sporting director.
So you are right.
United have gone. Edward Ward was there for how long?
11 years
After this guy.
So no. I asked the question. So you've landed where I wanted, right? So let's pick another case study, right? Let's take Barcelona, right? You would be the expert on it. When Pep Guardiola left Barcelona, right? Who they bring in? Luis Enrique.
Right.
When Enrique left, they brought in Tito, right? All these guys were in the football structure, way before, like it was the succession plan was there, right? When did Barcelona start going different direction?
I think it was after the Champions League win. I think gradually.
There's a lot of Champions League win. Which one?
Yeah,
2015 now. 2015. I think after the 2015, it was.
Who was the guy in charge at the top?
Didn't they have
Bartomeu.
it was
Didn't have a change of
when you
president.
had that Bartomeu,
Didn't you have a change of president?
Yeah, it was Bartomeu.
Yes, and they started doing deals that we
Yeah,
knew
yeah,
that the
yeah.
money was
Yeah,
not right.
Things went south when Villanova died, actually.
No, that was
The
that
leadership.
was that was.
No. The point I'm trying to establish here,
Leadership.
and you guys,
It was
you guys,
Bartomeu and
you guys
Sandro
probably
Rosell.
don't want to see it, but
Bartomeu and Rosell.
when you have wrong leadership in a
We
football
see
club,
it.
right?
We see it.
Right.
The leadership
That's
is the
what-
biggest part of the problem.
The club, the field might not be the first place it shows, right? But surely
yeah,
you would arrive
it
there.
will show.
Of course.
You would arrive there, right? I'm telling you that this is the first time in 12, 11 years United have had a proper football
in terms
leadership group.
so just to like that,
You get-
that point in terms of leadership, in terms of culture, this particular like Wilcox, Amorim and Barada, this is the first time we've had actual like football people making football decisions, and there's been very, very intentional things going on behind the scenes to rectify all the issues that have come before. Amorim is the first manager since Fergie that has
With
been
this sporting team.
very, and even removing like him himself in terms of driving culture. The only like Ole was more like Ole had like buying a lot of players, but
It was
it
vibes.
was very vibes. It was very vibes.
Vibes.
Amorim has been, like in terms of being a culture setter, he's been the best at it. Of course, it's like the results haven't shown it, but behind the scenes, trust us as United fans, he's been the most intentional and the best at doing it. And as a man, like I've not wanted any United manager to be successful as much as I want him to be, because as a man, he's doing all the right things, but ultimately, it's all about results.
And just wrap up on this question is the players United have signed now. If you hire any other manager, no manager says I don't want this, I don't want Queen anything.
Yeah, so now it's more.
Not one manager, right? No manager comes in and says I don't want Burma in the team. No manager comes into the team right now, right, and says I don't want Benjamin Sesko as a striker.
There's a point
right?
I need to make.
So you will make the point, right? So ultimately, that is driven by the guys over him. So it's not the tail wagging the dog anymore, right? Where Ten Hag comes in, well, literally, right now, we have Ugarte on our hands, we have Onana on our hands, right? We have Taro Malacia on our hands, we have Anthony on our hands, right? We have Garnacho, who are sending away to Chelsea soon. You know,
Don't worry,
we have Hoyle on our hands.
I've resigned.
These are 5 players,
I've resigned
right,
to the fate.
that were fully driven by so it's case of the tail wagging the dog. So now a new manager's coming and they're unfit for purpose. I can promise you now, they fire Amorim now, right? Dogu is still going to play left back.
Yeah. It's not like when Chelsea were buying like all them Zappa Costa, like it's not, we're not signing players.
We're not signing players for a system. Right? Euro is still,
for their
as you can
position.
see, one of the best young centre backs in the world. He's going to, he has potential. I don't think any manager comes and says, you know what, Euro cannot run.
Yeah.
You know, he's not. Do you understand? Or somebody comes and says,
One way the manager
good
fit
enough.
come.
So
One
the-
way the manager
so-
fit just come say,
Now
I don't
you can
want
see
this
the
one.
benefits
So you can
of
see the
the-
benefits of the system.
having,
Yeah.
like,
So
a leadership
again,
and-
I'm not holding before Amorim. I think that when you're given a lot of time and responsibility, right, resources rather, you should face the consequence. But I just believe that in good conscience, at this point in time, it would be a knee-jerk reaction to fire Amorim.
Yeah.
And if the club do it, fantastic.
I agree.
That's where I leave it.
I totally
That's
agree.
where I leave
And
it.
I
Since
said
we're
it on
rounding up
Monday.
on the- Since we're rounding up on the United conversation, that thing the Baker said that time. The other problem I have with Amorim, and again, I don't want them to fire. However, you see, the problem with when you are in a position like this is how to know that you have the right manager in to build with you. That's the biggest difficulty.
Yeah.
To know that irrespective of what happens, no, we have the right guy. Let him continue doing it. It's extremely difficult. Because I'm looking at Amorim, I'm thinking, when you're trying to build back up, doesn't matter all the world-class ideas you have.
Yeah.
Winning accelerates
Kills
and
everything.
helps.
Yeah.
You understand?
You see your manager to know
So
that.
you understand? So I have a tiny bit of an issue with Amorim saying see.
But you know that Ten
We have
Hag,
seen-
but you know that Ten Hag went that route as well.
Wait, no. This is where I'm going. We know
You know
that
Ten Hag
this
did the winning
is, we know
thing.
that this is your system.
And he still got sacked.
We know no. Ten Hag
that man
is
should
because
be
he's not
picked
been
up.
he has not been picked up. We know that this
He
is
should
your
be
system.
picked up.
We know that this is your system.
pick him up.
We know that this is what you have.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
how
plan.
you like to
Nice.
play. However, we have also established here that based on the players you have now, there might be holes too big in the team that oppositions are leveraging on. So maybe you change it and play to the strength of the players sometimes. To try and get some games, to go and get across the line some games. Because I think I have a little bit of an issue with Amorim not considering see, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't do his system.
Yeah.
But I have a bit of an issue with the system is almost as if it has to be automated and we have to do it like this repeatedly to get that thing that we want to get. Because the players that you have now, we have established there's a reason Bruno is struggling in that position. He's struggling in. There's a reason maybe some of the defenders. Maybe you try something that might get you across the line in some games. For you to be able to have that time to go back and keep perfecting your system.
So he doesn't look like he does. Yeah. So okay.
So in relation to that, so that's what I was talking about, the whole flexibility and implementation.
Yes, we talked
so,
about that.
Like the reason, so I think that is a flaw that yes, he doesn't have another system to fall back on, right? It's like a player that plays football manager, like he's played football manager.
Yeah.
I have a tactic that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I
Yeah.
must use that formation. Like
Yeah.
so that's it. But like my own issue with that is why, like, if he's not able to get his tactic and actually get the players to understand his tactic. Like,
How is he going to go?
How do you think he's going to get other players to
Other
understand
tactic.
another tactic?
Which
that-
is a big, it is not a
that you
bigger
understand.
problem.
So I think he has to really look at himself. So
Yeah.
maybe whatever his communication,
He's not working.
sometimes you have all the things in your brain.
yeah,
Like, I work
yeah,
in education.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
as
yeah,
a
you're
teacher,
right.
you might know everything,
Yeah,
but you're
yeah,
not
you
able to
can't-
convey
you
your
can't
message.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're
So
right.
like if he can't really understand and convince those players and let them understand the system,
Yeah.
he will probably struggle to let them
Even
understand
try
the
and
system.
yeah.
Especially the system that, because again, this whole system stuff, Ten Hag played for at the back, also had midfield problems, right? He had multiple preseasons, spent 700 million pounds. The season Amorim came in, Man United had 11 points out of 27 points. We were already 14th after multiple preseasons playing for at the back. So any idea that, yes, I agree that maybe he could have tried something else, but why would he first of all, there are no guarantees, and two, Like,
Why would you leave the trusted for the?
why would they hire him to do something that and that is not even working doing that?
So,
that he will now go and do something else.
Enrique said something, right? And PSG are, maybe you can disagree or agree, but the best team in Europe at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Enrique said, look, when a player comes into the team, right, they must understand the fundamentals of what I want the team to do first. When they understand it, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So when you watch PSG play now, right, you could literally see Dembele leave his position, right, and come and carry
And
the
how
ball
they
at
evolve.
the base.
Yes.
And you see how immediately he does it, right? He can
Someone
hold
can
that position
occupy.
for this another
Yeah.
60 seconds, 2 minutes, and you just be around there. Somebody else goes there, right? You know why? We're talking about tactical culture, right? The culture in the club, in the team tactically is set. Everybody understands what the team is trying to do with the ball and without the ball.
Yeah.
So it now becomes almost like, oh, the man is not there, so no, but I understand why he's come back. So we need to shuffle.
Yeah.
So that only happens when everybody is on the same playing
level.
field, right?
Yeah.
So I don't.
So
What is your point?
So
Vitinha
what
said
are
it.
they doing?
Yeah,
that training?
yeah.
He said in the first season there was not much rotations.
Yes.
Second season it was full on fluidity.
because-
In
no,
agreeing,
no.
in agreeing with what you just said.
What did they do for
Wait,
training?
in agreeing with what you just said. Another thing I will now say is this.
You reach to act.
In agreeing with what you just
they
said.
do for training.
Don't forget in Spain, when Enrique went to Spain, he struggled at Spain. They were beating Spain. So
So as a Spanish coach, he struggled now.
So as a Spanish,
He struggled with results, but they were playing well.
No, there's a reason why even when he was linked to jobs
But they
before he
were
got this
playing
PSG job,
Yeah.
a lot of big teams were like, they're not sure
No,
because
I didn't want
he'll
him
play
at my
like
club.
he used to
He
he
came
used to
and
do like
he came and did a presentation now.
80% possession, no goals, no shots.
that kind of thing.
This is 10%.
Now,
Don't do presentation.
what I'm saying is that
For don't
if
win
Luis
Champions
Enrique,
League.
with all the
Get
experience he has,
out!
right, went to the Spanish national team,
Come
right,
on, boy. Yeah.
and in that adjoining time, struggle with the team. It is a special skill only the best managers possess to come in and transmit what's in their head to
Go and get Jose.
the players.
But in response to what you just said,
So
another thing
this guy is 40. This guy
He does turn 40 this year.
guy's top 40 this year, right? So United have to ask themselves, right? Did we make the right choice, in hiring a guy who is still on the up, still learning his trade? And if we make that right choice, then we have to stick by him.
That
in
admittance,
response, wait.
UB, that admittance I was talking about is
That's not what I
no,
said.
hold on, listen. My
He
friend.
wants to fall into
because
That
because you
admittance-
because you don't play, don't be saying we go
No,
talk.
wait, that admittance I was talking about is what would make United say, you know what? Nothing has the house is not on fire. Give this guy another 1 year or two on this job. Because hold on.
I agree. No, I agree.
Because
They should fire him.
No.
a big manager.
I don't think you fire him.
a big club. How did that? Ateta, no, because we talked about.
I see the results set
hold on.
online.
They
Where
say
there was one winning like 11.
What changes? What builds a culture at the club? Arsenal haven't really won, but you can see from outside that there's culture at the club.
Yeah.
And the reason there's culture at the club is
Culture of
because
second position.
the club outrightly backed the manager even when it was not going well.
That backing shot, they're supposed to come up for him back
No way.
for like a few
No,
years now.
but the point is, they finished eighth, and the club said, this guy is the long-term
we don't
know
what would have happened if we finished 15th. We don't.
No, but 8 and 8 is still bad.
We don't know what would have happened.
No, but with 8 and 8 is still bad. But they backed him. So the players who come into the club understand that this guy is here for the long haul. So whatever he says is what we will follow.
It's law,
So-
exactly.
So that's the culture of the club.
I was going to respond. I was going to respond.
Players just come in and realize that if it's this guy, either on this guy's side,
It's not him that getting blamed.
Yes, I was going to respond to
You're right. I agree with you.
UB, and you are right as well. Where UB,
That's a good point.
when you said at the time about no team would want Mbeumo, Cunha, all these people in the team. Another thing is that, and I'm looking at the sporting team at United, where if you brought in Amorim, there was a Sporting Lisbon fan thought that
I've
he
seen
put out
this thing.
long distance, and it's looking like what that person said is true. Because if you have brought in Amorim, right, I think possibly the Mbeumos and the Cunhas and were not the right signing. Possibly. Wait, before I finish.
Nobody talk anything.
That's it. Because the reason I'm saying this is this. Like I was telling Ini, it is almost impossible to build your tactical culture, winning culture, club culture back up by signing already established players, 27, 28, 20, whatever.
No, they just turned 26.
Right. Well, established. You get what I mean?
Wait,
It
sorry,
is
Mbeumo
almost.
26.
It is
26.
That's the way they your mind.
Don't shut up,
It
man.
was born in
Leave
France.
out
It
there.
was born in France.
I know.
So what I'm saying is that because ultimately for a lot of all these players, it's not that they don't want glory. They want glory and they're going to fight for it. But making money is on top of the list of what's important to them.
A lot of those players cut their wages.
You understand? You can cut your wages, but how many of them?
I think
Where
because
I'm
those guys
going
are,
is
they are,
this.
if okay, go ahead.
Where I'm going is this. You are almost, and that's what history has proved. You are almost better off building with the 20, 23-year-olds, 19-year-olds.
The crumble.
No,
I think it's a balance of
that's
both.
the admittance he's talking about.
No.
You have to see, for example, when Chelsea were coming 12th,
Who will be the leader of the team?
and we were relax, we didn't have a leader. When Chelsea were coming 12th, and we're getting beat by all our sundry, right? I said it here that what I am not is I'm not a delusional Chelsea fan that believes because of what we did during Abramovich, we can't be losing to this, we can't be losing to that. Because ultimately, what is clear is that culture Abramovich built has gone with him. You can imagine we bought Enzo a year, 6 months in, he's one of the captains. That's to show you that they're building from the ground. And why that is important is that you have to bring in players, even if you don't have a lot of them from the academy, you have to bring in players that their actual life in football, their career is dependent on how well they perform.
The Chelsea not fire Pochettino because Pochettino
wanted to go and sign
big name
But
signings.
big name signings.
I disagree because if you actually look at our team, Dogo is 20, Euro is 19.
I hear you. No.
Kobe is 20, Ahmad is 22. Sesko is 22.
If you remember what I said.
But Cunha and Mbeumo, for me, the benefit of them is that, so those are two players that literally just turned 26. They haven't achieved anything in their career.
Yeah.
So it's the best of both of them because they're getting into their peak and they are still hungry to actually do something for the team. So they're not like,
Sesko is how old?
20, just turned 22.
He's 22.
He just turned 22.
You are not wrong.
So I think it's a good balance of young players that we have the older ones, and then we got two ready-made players that haven't achieved and are really hungry to actually do something in their careers.
I agree with that.
You're not wrong.
I agree
You're
with
not
that.
wrong.
And is there a risk here? Is there a risk here that where United where United goes, the cameras, the stories, the podcast, the broadcast teams follow, right? But that is par for course for United. But ultimately, it doesn't change the fact that we're 3 weeks into the season, right? And we also maybe expected that those scars in doing preseason and everything are completely healed, completely died. Do you understand that? Or the team is so revamped, so refreshed that we won't see any of the. I mean, so I think that there's a risk in that's what everybody's doing. That everybody just thought, you know what? Because there was a summer and there was a reset, everybody went away, everybody has come back, we brought in new players. Everybody just thinks.
So it's just going to flow.
It's just going to flow.
It's not that easy.
And this is for me the big test for United's leadership team.
Did you not say that they have to make top 4?
No, I didn't say that. You can pull it
Top
up.
4 is set already.
You understand? No. What I even said that the top 4 picks itself.
Yeah,
that's what I
it's
said.
already-
It picks
it's
itself.
already
So
set.
So
Top
I think right that it is a big test for
Probably top
Ineos'
10.
leadership team.
Does top 5 make the Champions League again?
If
Top 5
Depending on
Yeah.
whatever.
But even at that, I can tell you right now, even with the signings United have made, right? I can tell you 5 teams that are better than United.
Mention them.
top 4 already.
You know the 4 already, right?
Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, City.
All better than United.
Okay.
I think
Chelsea better than United.
Spurs.
I think
Like
I think
not
Newcastle.
Squad-wise, they are.
I think Newcastle are better than United.
Spurs.
No, I think Newcastle. I said Newcastle.
Newcastle are better in United.
Newcastle.
If they have all their players.
Player for player.
Player for player.
That midfield. You sure you play Newcastle soon?
I know
You know
Newcastle.
that
before.
there's no midfield in the Premier League.
Remember? Nobody for England.
No midfield in the Premier League.
No midfield in the Premier League.
Technical.
No midfield
right?
in the Premier League can match that Newcastle
said
midfield.
We can.
That
We have done it.
midfield
Baba, no
We've
try
done
am,
it.
oh.
Fabian
We have done it before.
Right.
We got a record and we
United
played them.
centre-back.
We
They were
played them
mental
out of the
They were
park
very easy.
at St James Park last season.
You get
Don't be only
Show me
park.
the record.
There's a
We
United.
played them
Now
out of
show
the
you.
park.
Bro. We beat Newcastle in the final as well, right? But what I'm telling you is I've mentioned 6 teams that are better than United right now. 6 teams.
Maresca, you have changed our lives.
Right. See,
Enzo.
you know I love football. You know I love football.
One team they complain, another one they happy.
No. That's why I love football. Right.
That's all I
I've
feel.
gone through a lot. You don't forget.
Chelsea don't finish.
See.
Chelsea don't go finish 12.
The ones
and
I
banter
pity, the ones I
Chelsea.
pity, are them toasting them. And please, you guys should give Tosin a break. Right?
Relax.
You guys should no. You guys should give Tosin a break. I think that
I
think
was
that we
worried
can-
for our last time.
as a family, as a community, right? You people should be good to visitors. When strangers are passing through your
Now
community.
just they throw different.
She's a United fan.
When I
right?
don't they say make we bring women.
And I love it.
And I promise you, Tosin knows her stuff. I promise you she knows her. She's just emotional, as we all are. You get
like in your but once it's United.
that once
Very
it's Chelsea,
passionate.
Arsenal. You get you said once you don't reach Chelsea.
No count.
Stone will come for your
No,
leg. You know what I'm saying?
but you
No
go count me. Make thunder strike you for that play.
Right. It's like we can be recording this
He dey
podcast, right?
He didn't mention my name, but make they don't mention your name.
He said no count.
It's like
No.
we can be having a good production.
count- if you
Once
count my
he
name,
say-
thunder
once
go
he
strike
says-
you
No.
there.
Once he says Konate Saliba, Wale will come in
Wale-
from the background.
Now Google kill him.
Do you understand?
mentioned Konate
Right.
again
So
when
there is that.
Saliba did.
I think
Mad person.
I think we touch base with United, right? I want
My
to touch base,
producer. That was
great, that
and
was
gentlemen,
Or they say Salah and Henry.
I have to say,
You don't want to lose out.
I have to say, thank you for allowing us to have parliamentary proceedings. Right? Is there anything you wanted out of United?
No.
Yeah? Anything you wanted out of
But
United?
United will come good. I really.
We don't need that from you.
No, but I need to say.
You
No, I need to say.
You don't do.
You even left it now.
United will come good. Honestly, United will come good. Last time was good for banter.
go give
it
me-
was,
he go
it was
give
good
me.
for
I
banter.
just saw a
But
picture.
the
I just saw a
next-
picture of that Amorim where he opened that book. They put Rizla and he go for the rule.
See,
And the next fixtures are going to be because we have City after Burnley, we have City,
wow.
Chelsea, and
pull up my tweet. I said,
wow.
at the last day of October, right? on the last day of October, he would know if he's United manager or not.
But if they don't fire him after Grimsby, I don't think they should fire him.
he can save. No, I think the next two, if he can save him, like his rep, no, not his reputation, but his feeling with the fans.
Yeah.
I said if he gets a big result against City or Chelsea,
Yeah.
then season kicks back.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you guys need a new
I will play
goalkeeper.
Liverpool before
No,
October.
but we'll get
no,
to
of
it.
course.
I
They're
said
getting a new-
Onana.
We need a new
God,
goalkeeper. You get-
I'm pretty sure
I think that will
Onana
probably
is never
change a
going
lot
to-
of
I don't listen to Gary Neville a lot.
That will change a lot
But
of
he's made one clear analysis, right, in this, period under review. He said, look, a goalkeeper, I think the most difficult position in football is the number 6, and I've said it a lot of times, right, or number 4, depending on where you're looking at it from. Neville thinks that the most difficult position in football is goalkeeper's room,
Yeah, I always say that.
right? I couldn't agree more, right? You see, when you've had stability for a long time, you almost forget that it's important.
Yes, now.
Because this guy is safe pair of hands, and what's
Yes,
going to happen?
yes, now.
You know what's going to what gonna
Yes,
happen?
now. Till you bring
the
somebody in.
the hair is bad, but we're complaining but the guy is safe pair of
plug
hands.
and play.
You're Liverpool, you have Alisson,
Bro.
it's one less problem. Like the manager picks 10 players, he doesn't pick 11 players.
Keller has
I fell
left,
into,
Abi.
I fell into
Yeah,
that
he's
trap.
a
Make
Yeah.
Alisson just get one injury.
I fell
now.
into that. I fell
No,
into that trap.
they've got
They bought
Mama.
Madrid. Forget Madrid. Make it
So me,
come.
I fell into that trap because when
an
we're
absolutely terrific goalkeeper.
I know him.
You don't know
Chelsea
him.
wanted to buy him. I
You
do.
don't know him.
He's-
You don't know him.
Valencia now.
You don't
Chelsea
know
wanted
him.
to buy Madrid. I know
You
him very
hear about
well.
him, but I'm telling
Very
you,
well.
he's an absolutely
But like,
terrific
so
Come
I
on,
fell into that
yeah.
trap. So when one of my guys and myself were arguing what is more
Don't mind
important.
now. In our Premier League only, they watch.
We're arguing what's more
Now,
important for United, a
congratulations.
midfielder.
He invest in all Europe.
I said, my guy and I were arguing which is more important, a midfielder or a keeper, and I was very much like midfield. That
Yeah.
will manage. Come on.
Onana don't show.
Yeah, I've seen
I
that.
don't see me when they ran here because of Sanchez.
I think I've seen that. A goalkeeper unnerves the team.
You never chop, you won't buy car.
Like it unnerves the team.
When Poch
You never
was there,
chop, you won't buy
you go
car.
start match like this. You go be like, say, yeah, what do we? Sanchez will just carry the ball. If like say somebody call him, I see they call.
Bro.
Say this game that's going well.
I want
We have sent the money to the account, destroy it.
I want to cost
Somebody said, you won't be surprised, and it's of course a joke. You won't be surprised that in many years, if you do documentaries, Nana was fixing matches.
Because
Bro, we were leading. Do you understand? We entered the Arsenal game with a pray. Say, Arsenal, no wound us. We can't go 2-0 up. My God.
Now he passed to
We 2-0 up. I did front of TV. I say, God, make this
Say na
match
Declan
end.
Rice him
Now
pass that
Sanchez just carried the ball under
pass.
no possible.
Give
Baba,
Declan
go play and
Rice
go
ball.
throw in.
He passed,
the
give
ball to
Declan.
Rice. My
And
God.
Declan whipped it.
As Declan Rice scored that goal, I don't
He
say Arsenal
whipped
go
it.
equalize.
No, again, when the team's mentality is fragile,
You understand?
When they know that the problem has come from
Declan
us,
whipped
Yes, sir.
it.
is
I know
infectious.
they look like last season when we come begin rugged to enter top 4. We're playing Fulham at home. We don't score the league
Onana
1-0.
never change keeper.
They play. Now because he go PSG don't start card. We dey play game.
That
The
ball
PSG game
when
season,
when
We
he
don't-
come up
he
from
saved the
goal,
Chelsea career.
when he come up from goal,
My brother.
clear ball.
The PSG
beat
game
Fulham.
They
season.
play
Sorry.
1-1. It literally remained 2 minutes to the end of the game. Sanchez, I beg now. The ball, he only and they carry the ball, go inside ball. John Holland, Sanchez launched the ball. You know, see we want pass to. He just launched the ball. They just collect the ball, just carry and come score 2-1. I say, God.
Goalkeeper.
No. See, Onana. See, I clocked it very early, right? I like to give players time. Right? So the couple of players I've written Ugarte off. Ugarte needs to go.
That's how
Right.
you already write off Dogu. I told you. I said,
No,
wait.
Dogu is a young player.
I said, wait.
He's a good young player. I like
Say,
him.
say, no, get him out.
I know I got that one wrong. I got that one. Emeka will send me rolling eye emoji. You know what I'm saying? I go convert that from my timeline. Look at this man. I think I have time for this.
It won't come on stone.
Yes, they won't come out of my leg. You get-
No, we
But
did.
I think people like Ugarte, but the goalkeeper. When you look across the Premier League, right? Like even Everton, like
No,
as
we're like we have the worst pair. Banter and Onana.
how can you have two bad numbers?
How did you end up with Bayande and Onana?
Ten Hag now, bro. It's Ten Hag now.
Ball, they say ball playing goalkeeper.
I cannot see why.
I think United should not sell Onana. They should buy another goalkeeper. They should play him in midfield. They should play him in midfield. He will do great things.
There was a funny tweet I saw yesterday. It said that that Onana is almost like a social experiment to see how long it takes for his fan base to go insane.
bro.
Onana.
But wait till the most Onana no luck in comment section for
They always come
IG.
say,
Eh?
you know, nothing they face him.
In
Yeah.
get skin for the
He
game.
gets
Come on.
So
He gets skin for
yes,
the game.
yesterday mentioned
No
someone,
worry.
I said that guy.
someone said my guy with Man U fan. One driver go buy food this night. Things I don't know what he's doing. Things that you move.
Collect steering for him fast. What's that?
These are stupid. You know how far to buy us food? See, is that make a carry go buy food, bro? Pure ritualist.
That's why when they come here this morning. This one they drive us. They carry call. He said, "Hello, love of my life." I said,
Stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense you're doing.
You dey make you face road just now. Face road. You understand? I never born. You dey drive me. You dey talk me. Relax yourself.
Bro.
Because they just break. Now they call you themselves. Say love of my life. I don't see each other.
They are
last
not seeing each other for midnight.
They just break. They call you. Relax. So. Relax. They talk and make the girl for years. So that when you cut the call, she don't go back.
So I think they're going to the last 10 days of transfer market, something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice to ask what we think every team needs. It would be a waste of time to talk about United's, again, right? So
I think we need a striker.
let's start with Chelsea, right? When I look at Chelsea, I think they're very balanced, right? You know, defense. They've won the Maresca. So look, don't make that comment you made again about centre back.
You want to buy? You need a second. Relax.
Don't talk about it again. I think that if the players return on time and they're good, I think Chelsea are good. Centre forward, I think they
I don't like why we're letting Jackson go. I think at least one more season, but it feels like the English
strikers.
Three
Three strikers is
you
too
can
much,
have 3 strikers. We've done it before.
Pedro
You
is
understand? Pedro was bought initially to be a second striker. Now that we're letting Jackson go, is because they are now imagining João Pedro as a striker, and the fact that he did well at the Club
And the
World
Champions League
Cup was part of
registration
it.
stuff, I think, as well.
And you get, and it's also why they're saying they want to get Travis Simons, because if Jackson was not leaving, Pedro would have been a second striker. There's no reason they would have bought Travis Simons. Right, so I think he should have remained.
So for Simons to come in, Jackson must go.
Newcastle
Yes.
not going.
Nkunku too must go, and it feels like the AC Milan deal
Nkunku is going to AC
is
Milan.
done. Jackson to Bayern Munich feels like
I think left.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
exactly. That's why I think
Newcastle-
let's look at Garnacho.
Aston Villa.
The only reason Garnacho to Chelsea is not done is because Chelsea are using the fact that Garnacho only wants to come to Chelsea to try and lowball United.
Yeah.
Like United, no one agree, but I think they are
It's looking
close to an
like- I think it's
agreement at
35,
40
40 million,
Yeah, they're
I have
almost.
45.
It should happen very soon.
You know.
So I've resigned. I've
But
resigned.
where
to the
does
fate.
Garnacho want to play?
There's a left wing. We are light
wait,
left
wait,
wing.
wait,
I think it's better than Gittins.
Well, at this moment in time, it's better than Gittins.
Yeah.
While our light left
Any
wing.
other
I
thing
don't
is
think it's
banter.
better than Gideon. I think he has Premier League
No,
experience.
at this moment,
moment.
he's
At this
better than
moment, better.
Gittins. If you have seen Gittins
Like-
since we have started, he's still G3.
That's what I'm
I think
saying.
Garnacho is
But
underrated.
he made one
he's-
move.
No,
No,
I think
he
he has
is.
a lot to improve on.
Yeah.
But like when the fact that someone like Gittins, if you look at the numbers and even just eye test, like Gittins going for 50 something million, or like I think Garnacho right now is still a better left winger than Gittins.
Yeah.
But I think Gittins has probably more tools and more.
Yeah, he has
in
more
the
tools
game.
that has not
Not
materialized
yet.
yet. You
So
understand?
so
But
I get
Garnacho
they're
is
going
a
to-
more.
They're going to both fight for that position.
Exactly.
But
I didn't want him. I didn't want him.
I think defensively, like, I think
Why a bit light?
I think no, but I think defensively, like I really rate Maresca because I feel Maresca, like I didn't think he was as defensively solid.
So yeah.
So like last year you had the third best defensive record in the league, like
Yeah.
43 goals in 38 games.
I was surprised
considered.
at some point.
Only-
When
only Arsenal
is
and
Chelsea
Liverpool-
playing Man U?
Only Arsenal 20th.
Somebody say something now.
20th.
20.
Only Arsenal and Liverpool considered less goals than you
Than
guys
Chelsea,
last year.
yes.
So I think defensively, like the structure is good. And I don't think they want to maybe blow that money. And Achepong looks like he has some
Yeah.
potential.
So
as well.
that's why they've
So-
told him we are not buying you another
Yeah,
centre
yeah.
back. Remain where you
Because
are.
the structure is very solid.
Yeah, I
Very,
think
very
also
solid.
what Maresca does. There was a time I felt like this guy is stubborn. He doesn't want to change. But I've realized that the overall system doesn't change. But he makes a lot of iteration in the sense that maybe let's try this player in this other place,
You're
or
seeing what I'm-
let's do maybe
that came,
five.
that
or
came,
let-
that came,
a bit later.
that came a bit later. You have to set
Because like how you know how you were
have
so
to
much
set-
about he said like my wingers have to be super high and wide, and then now he started playing Palmer on the right,
So
he
you need-
plays Pedro
He's now
number
tweaking
10, you know, so
things.
like Enzo now started playing like so
And
I think
that Enzo won't pay me small.
I think he
because
really started
there's
like,
been he's bought fruits,
He really started-
but he paid me small. So he's now playing Enzo as an 8 because that's why Enzo struggled a lot. I would have preferred you play.
So you
this
see,
line.
in the end time we say all right.
Yeah,
he's doing better at
Yeah,
position.
he's scoring
Yeah,
goals.
scoring goals. Yeah. Let's talk about Liverpool. I really enjoyed the Newcastle game.
They don't need
And
anyone.
Wale,
They need a lot of
please
players.
come and
they
apologize
need a
to
lot
all
of
the
reinforcements.
because on the Monday
Yeah, very
episode
light.
I predicted 3-2. I said
Yeah, you did.
Ekitike anytime
I
goal
said
scorer.
Liverpool were going to score at 4 goals,
My
and it was
brother-
on.
No, you
They
can't, you can't-
bottled
you
it.
can't be as good as somebody that predicted
They
3-2.
bottled
No, I said
it.
2-2.
So
You said
you were doing
3-2.
3-2. I
I
know
know
say
they
he's
talk
a-
say I better pass. I just
He
they talk
said,
my own.
I predicted them to score.
I
for
just
one
they
goal.
talk my. I don't talk say I better pass.
Newcastle almost scored.
It's
for-
like saying
Come
saying
on, boy, yeah.
Man U Burnley on their 4.5. You know that Man U will score goals.
No, I was very sure that no. I was very sure
You say you
that
don't
Liverpool was going to score a lot of goals because I knew that Newcastle
me, I
were going
was
to
sure
be
how many
emotional.
they
But now those 2 goals now.
I don't see what Newcastle don't do me for that stadium. I knew they were going to be overly emotional.
Yeah.
But
I knew.
Normal.
what's the take on this kid? This real kid.
Real.
Yeah. I think Liverpool. So first of all, in terms of what they need, I think they definitely need a centre back. So they're going to get probably Gehi. And I think if you look at the attack now, if they don't get Isak, they are very, very light up front.
These bloody
Yeah.
scoundrels.
They only have three first choice. Like so, they have Gakpo, Ekitike,
Salah.
Salah,
Yeah,
and
Salah.
Chiesa on the bench, and you're relying on a
Real.
16-year-old kid.
No,
they
they're
definitely
going
need
to get
another
Isak.
attacker.
They are going to get
Yeah,
Isak.
so they definitely need.
These bloody scoundrels.
So if you get his sack right,
Yeah.
Is Elliot going?
hold on a sec now. guys.
No, Elliot.
Parliamentary proceedings.
Elliot is going. Elliot is
probably
going to. I can't remember now. I think
Is it Leipzig?
French. It's Leipzig.
Germany.
At United will be annoyed that the club is letting Elliot go. Because Elliot for Liverpool is generational talent for them, right? You don't hear anything about
Even
it.
some Liverpool fans don't want
Let
him.
me
I was
tell you.
reading
You
the
don't
article.
hear.
They don't want him to go.
I mean, some can hear disgruntlement,
But he's not-
but you don't hear such a
he's-
point that
he's not
they
one
want
of
to
their own.
uproot the football club.
These bloody scousers.
But he's not.
When
he's not
Trent
one-
was going to leave,
We get to
when Trent was going to leave, Liverpool
he's
fans,
not one of their
Liverpool
own,
fans
that's
say,
why.
they say he's this, he's that.
Strength is one of one now.
Look at what they did with this rowing Gumoha boy. They tapped him up. There's a lot of
Yeah,
bad
from
blood
Chelsea,
between
yeah.
Chelsea and Liverpool now because of that boy.
So now you see what you want to talk.
They tapped him up.
How
Isn't
much
it?
talent do you have? How many do you want to have?
He no concern you now.
I shocked when I saw that
But
Chelsea
at
this
at
thing.
Liverpool, he has the chance. He has
He's
the
a,
pathway.
no, he doesn't. If he has been, if he had, wait, make I finish what I talk.
When it can't make sense again.
You don't get sense.
You don't
If he had been at
Give it
Chelsea,
to
look
him,
at what's
bro.
happening now. We're very light left wing.
You'd have farmed him
This
out.
boy, Tyreek George is not the same level talent as Rio. It's obvious. That's why I was selling him off, even though he came from the academy. He's not the same talent as Rio. And we're very, 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 very light left wing. The reason he has gone is because they tapped him up and then they went and offered him. They went and offered him ridiculous money. Yes.
Yes. When I said that Manu offered
it's different scenario.
Heaven money.
Different scenario.
When I said it, you said
Heaven had better playing opportunity at United.
I knew Heaven
had
would play at
better
Arsenal.
playing opportunity at United.
Rio,
Last season, even though we knew that Rio is not the same talent as Tyreek George. Tyreek George played a lot of games last season.
Young Rio has a chance.
So he would have played. It's not a problem about playing. He would have played. But they tapped him up and they offered him.
Stop saying tapped him up. Were you there?
Criminal money. They come put him for. They put him Newcastle. He can't score. They say he's one of our. Come on for here.
You know the funny thing.
It's one of their own now.
You know
Is it your own?
You know
they pay salary.
the funny thing before the real goal, I tweeted. I said, look, I said 4 passes they will score. Because I could see the entire. I literally I saw it.
That boy.
They just needed to.
That boy is
2-3 passes together and the guy scored.
If I show you in academy videos,
when
that boy is serious talent.
I'm always triggered when the Salah or Henry conversation comes up.
How you want to bring
But
that
Salah
inside this thing?
is a brilliant footballer.
Yeah. So
People
smart,
talk
man.
about Salah putting the ball in the net and all of that. But
See
Salah's
Wale they
football
smile.
brains.
See Wale they smile. In the smile,
Salah's
they
football
blush.
But you just came
And
around.
it's
But
not-
you just came around. We've
No,
told you for
Salah
years.
is a brilliant footballer. Like
It's not Nobel.
It's not.
No,
I don't think people bring that up as much.
people talk about his ability
But
to
we-
put the
but we
ball
told
in
you
the net
that.
and
It's not Nobel.
that-
It's not
that-
Nobel.
that-
We've
my friend, shut
always.
up. People talk about that running ability,
genius.
scoring goals and all that.
Not here.
But in terms of football ability, understanding the
Very
game,
intelligent.
Oh, welcome.
Salah
Welcome.
is top class.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Are they crazy?
Welcome to the show.
Only they
Because-
carry on for it.
because
Now when person wake be money.
because now see if this game was if it be against Arsenal, you don't feel
You don't go grill.
You no
This
go
thing
gree.
when you talk,
Because
if doesn't know where we
Newcastle-
don't.
That's why you can see clearly.
I don't slander top players. I can't do that. It's not in my DNA.
And he said that you can never talk about Mo Salah and Henry in the same conversation.
Yes.
That's what you said.
That's
So who is better now? So
That's
who
what you
is
said.
better?
You won't lie.
That's banter.
You won't lie.
No,
In
that's
who is
banter.
better now?
That's
In who is
that-
better now?
That's
Who is
banter.
better now?
There is no Premier League player better than Henry.
I think-
Oh,
I think
talk
if you're
am
talking,
again.
if you're
There
talking,
is
no-
if you're talking Premier League legacy, or I think
There
as
is
as a
no-
footballer, I think Henry
course,
is a better
Henry-
player.
Henry is head and shoulder above everybody.
But like, I
Henry's not better
think
than
Salah
Cristiano
is now
Ronaldo,
getting to an
make
echelon
sure
of
I
Premier
don't
League
let
that
senior man get meltdown.
Anyway, so
He
touch
only melts
Liverpool,
down. Now melt up.
right? We
So
touched Liverpool.
Emeka was going to talk about Liverpool needing.
No, he's mentioned that already.
Yeah. So
Now you they cut him off. Now why you don't remember?
It's real. It was important to put it out there.
Arsenal don't need anybody
You
again.
get now Vidic. See,
Arsenal.
Arsenal, that's the greed that they mentioned in the Bible. That's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So you want to buy in Capio?
They still want to buy Kape
yes.
again.
See,
Arteta
I
is
am
a mad
happy-
person.
no.
I have to put it out there. Arteta is a mad
Why
person.
did I like defender like?
Ateta
Ateta is a
doesn't
mad
go a
person.
transfer window without buying a centre back.
When somebody said that if two 23-year-olds, Fellaini or Cazorla, knowing what you know about Arteta,
He will buy
who does he
Fellaini.
sign?
Someone said that he would have signed
he
Kape.
said-
He made sure he bought those attackers first, so no one
First.
can compete.
Yeah,
That's
That's what he wanted.
That's
That's what he wanted.
that can say. Like say na better. Now he weak am. He's
I
stronger
don't
man.
know.
Say no, we must buy Eze.
I know.
If not, Ateta no go buy Eze.
Kivia is going to Porto. Zinchenko is very likely to leave. So he wants to have a cushion
And
on
the guy
that.
can
He
set
never
piece
get
demon.
cushion.
And
Rich.
he wants to have a cushion.
And that Hinkape is a set piece demon.
Bro,
that guy the
He
head
wants.
ball.
He the head ball.
That's what I'm buying
Yes,
him.
now.
He never get another. He never get cushion reach.
He wants to have a cushion on that left hand
Kelly
side.
and
Arteta.
Calafiori
I don't think he trusts
are
Skelly
left back.
that much. at
Timber
that
can play there too. Timber and
No, you want the
White
left
at
side.
right back. Your centre back, you bought Mosquera. There's Saliba. There's Gabriel. Now you want to buy Hinkapi.
But two
right?
defenders are leaving now. Zinchenko
I've
and
not
Kivior.
mentioned all the ones that are leaving.
I'm
I've
telling
mentioned
you
the ones
two
that are
defenders
there.
are leaving.
I'm mentioning the ones that are there. You have more than enough.
It's the most complete.
Then one day, if there's a lot of
Yes.
crisis, no guard
Is
can
that not
shock
why I
in
said
there.
that if Ateta does not win the
most-
league?
yeah,
Is that not why I said that if
by far
Ateta
the
does
most
not win the
complete
You
league?
are
in
the
the Premier
best.
League.
See, you are head and shoulders
You don't
above
need anybody.
everybody.
You don't need anybody.
No,
So
we
that's
should
that's
do
why
that.
I'm
You don't-
happy. I'm
you don't
happy
do
that this
okay.
season.
Yes.
You see, one thing football has given me, right, is that before in the early 2010s, right,
You watch football, if your team's not playing well, you don't have anything to look forward to. There are things
I know where you're going.
Yes, sir.
There's a subplot, there's a hate watch.
Yeah, there's
hate watch small here.
There's back.
You hate watch another small here.
Bro,
Watch
you know-
small here.
You don't see that Tosin video.
I'm telling you, hate watch can give more joy
That your own team
winning.
When I see that Tosin video on Monday night after Newcastle game, Tosin start video, he say, "Oh, I was so close."
So close.
I said, "Close to what?"
I'll be there.
Now your team play.
You don't say something already.
He said, "I was so close."
These are how I do my hate watch, right? These are how I do my hate watch. I have a Premier League alarm on all the fixtures, right? Once the game starts, I'm not watching any game. I'm doing my thing. I'm probably doing my thing, you know. Once I see a game is finally poised, 2-2. I'm tuning in. I'm tuning in. I'm there.
Yesterday after that cruising game, I see Tosi video. The video they all Tosi do like this. I see.
Again, a drama queen.
Where did they go up? But she don't talk for like the first maybe 60 seconds or more.
Drama
Bro, it's really
close.
close. But moving on from Liverpool, let's talk about City, right? That loss against Tottenham, we haven't had the makers a take on it.
Yeah.
Where do you think City are in this? I think this is Pep's final season.
So I think it was on this show I said it. For me, I think Pep Premier League era is done. When you look at, again, it's funny, like when you, I don't know if it's the overall, because you had the argument about like overall talent in football, but like when you look at the drop off in their team from Pep's glory days, they're going from a Walker, David Silva, KDB.
The drop is crazy.
Like, it's crazy. Like now you're looking at Savinho, all these kind of guys, obviously Doku. Rico Lewis,
game's gone.
Rico Lewis, Nico Gonzalez, like the level,
game's gone.
Their quality has dropped a lot. So for me, I think they're on Chelsea's level, and I think those two are going to be battling for third.
On our level, they are above us.
No, I think you can.
They have Haaland.
Yeah,
Haaland,
I think they're also. I'll say they're slightly ahead of you, but like I'll say that they are the top two for me, Arsenal and Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then I think
we can compete.
You could possibly finish third ahead of City, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think for me, in terms of their squad, I also think that there are a lot of strange things, like someone like Sheki now. Like he's the most on-Pep player like I've ever seen. He's not a Pep player because you might think he has technique and this, but when he has those players for Pep,
It's not
they
disciplined.
work hard.
He's
they're
limited off the ball.
Very disciplined.
Yeah.
Off the ball, he's like almost non-existent. He's for me, he's not a Pep player, but maybe he will turn into one. But someone like, I'm very surprised that because Pep doesn't generally like Mavericks. Like he's not really someone that likes Mavericks. He likes players that have a lot of talent, but they are very malleable.
So Grealish,
I'll be what he did with likes of Zlatan, Toure, like he likes guys that are very, very system oriented. So it'll be very interesting to see. I think the likes of Reinders is a good player, but I just feel that they have too many ordinary players to like overtake Arsenal and Liverpool. But again, Pep, for me, like I always say, I really rate him, so we never know. But I think this is probably his last year.
I think it's his last season for me.
In Premier League.
You know,
I think it's last season, and I think
they go Abi. Make the rest of us where they know how we go to fight ourselves.
With any natural winner, what you want to do is have the last laugh. That's what natural winners always want.
That's what he's hoping for this year.
Yeah, that's what he's hoping for this year.
That's what he's hoping for. So he can just leave on.
on a high. And I think Fergie,
after that fifth Premier League title, I think Pep should have.
I think Fergie.
But it's hard to, never.
No, I think Fergie was and again, it's not a conversation for today, but Fergie doesn't get enough credit, right? To come back and win that last title, with those players he had, and say, this is my time, because he knew at least 12 months or even more.
A lot of tactical, but
that kind of thing. But when I look at the City team now, and I make I said it very well, I just think that there is also a danger in deviating from what makes you successful, and that's why every time I say it, like, I think Pep is a brilliant manager, right? And when people busy with stick, say he doesn't have a plan B. It's the same stick that you can use and say that's why he's successful, because the players he's signing now, right, are players you can say, is this really a Pep-driven type signing? It makes me think that the club are also thinking, we're planning ahead of the manager.
Pep look that guy with a sign from that guy they signed from
because Brian Sheki,
he said this one, he doesn't have the he doesn't have the brain to play midfield.
Yeah,
he said he can play a right back.
Doku is not Pep's guy.
Pep said that guy say he doesn't have the brain to play
Like,
midfield. So he can play a right back. Guy, I was like, what?
So, and if you notice, this summer they brought in a new sporting director.
and Hugo Banana.
You know,
Hugo
so
Banana.
I'm thinking
Brilliant left foot.
that is
a
the
restructuring
That is
happening.
the restructuring happened.
You
Just
remember
like
him?
like when Pep was coming in as well.
Yeah.
Right.
That
There
they-
are a
what
couple
he
of
did,
players that are buying that are
Yeah.
going to be more
Waiting
suited
for
to
him.
The next guy. I think he wants to. You know what? Say, you know what? I've got. If you watch the interview he did about Pep Linders,
Pep
Yeah,
Linders.
Liverpool's assistant,
Right.
former assistant.
if you see what he says about the guy, he says we brought in this guy to give us a different perspective on things. If you read between the lines, he's saying, look, I brought in this guy to give us a plan B. Do you understand? You know, a bit of club, a bit of hybrid, you know, Pep club hybrid, that kind of thing. And where he hear this thing from?
No, actually.
He was what?
Say that was the coach.
Linders.
Yes.
Of course he was a coach now.
Fantastic.
He was a coach. That Klopp was the manager.
Right. So what I think is that because of those hybrid that confluence of systems where you have Pep Linders, you have Pep, he's leaning on his input, and Pep leans on his number two a lot for inputs. You would find fluxes in their team where some days they are stuck between: do we structure the team to play this way, or do we fall back to what I originally want to do? And as long as that happens, you might find that Pep thing happening. But in terms of completeness,
Even just so I agree 100% with that, but I think we're even just overthinking it. Just look at the team. Like
You get Pep,
Like-
they look all those players. Say,
like I said, like Doku, Doku go there.
game's gone. Because Doku,
Like I said, I rely on
From
Savinho,
Riyad Mahrez,
Rico Lewis,
bro.
Nico Gonzalez. When Rodgers out, Nico
Bro,
Gonzalez.
you
Oscar
know
Bob.
who Mahrez that time.
I'm sorry, like
what he did to a team that he didn't build. Because he didn't.
Say that again.
now
Yeah, he
I'm
didn't
gonna
buy
retweet
them.
this- Yeah.
Yeah, he met those guys.
He
Yeah.
met, yeah.
Again, what is the biggest credit I give Pep? You guys remember? The biggest credit I give
About
Pep.
making world class players like
Yeah,
that.
making
work that hard.
world-class players work hard. That's for me. That's the biggest credit I give Pep. It's not about the system. Pep comes in right and looks to you straight in the eye and tells you, "You're going to do what I want to do,
Exactly.
or you're
Because he
going
has
to lead,
won.
or you're going to lead the
And it was
football
coming
club."
from the
No,
biggest
not,
club,
not, not,
Barcelona.
not because he has won. I think
Yeah,
that's
because he has
he
won.
was
not one of the
No,
bosses.
if he didn't
When
win,
It's because he has
no,
won.
no, his first time at Barca, he made
It's
some
because
very,
he
very
has
great.
won.
His first season at Barca,
There's
for
a
him to
reason
tell
that
you
is.
that he doesn't want Ronaldinho, he
Can I
doesn't
say
want
this?
Belletti, he
There's
doesn't
a
want
reason that is.
like this Deco. These were players that they were the, you understand, the
But Pep-
big-
I
But
think
you
Pep-
also know,
Pep was a Barcelona legend as well.
but you
It
know,
was two
also know
reasons.
that you have that leverage if you are the legend at the club.
You're a legend at the club. Not only that, you were in the youth system.
Yes,
too.
in the exactly.
Then 3, you already had players that you knew that this
But
next
it's
level
not
we are
easy
moving
to say-
to.
to tell
These are the
Ronaldinho
players
to
who are
lead.
anchoring
Two-
it
two-
on.
I guess what
I guess what you're saying.
tell
Yeah.
Ronaldinho to lead
the
the
two are
team.
true.
Exactly.
The two are true. The
But-
guy has
Yeah, like
He has
first time,
balls.
yeah.
You have to
yeah.
also understand that Ronaldinho already started having. If you remember,
And
there
the
were
players were
reports that
seeing
now started
results
coming
earlier
out
as well.
about he practices a lot. He doesn't train
Oh, yeah,
well. He
Deco
doesn't
nko.
this. He doesn't
Deco
that. He
nko,
doesn't.
Belletti nko.
Deco done the old now.
No, so I
Belletti,
think
which
man
one
them.
Belletti?
I mean, I think
Man them.
Eto nko.
Him and Eto, they have personal problems. That's
You are just
that's
giving
well
it-
documented.
no, I became,
That's well
no,
documented.
I think we said
No,
like
but
I
that's
think,
well
I think two
documented.
things are true
You
here.
don't
I think I became wait. So I think two things are true here. So the year before Pep, I don't know if you remember IBK.
As they talk
That was when for the first time Barca came like
tackle.
Barca came the year before Pep came. Barca
Yeah,
came
yeah,
third.
yeah.
So I think so there was already
Villarreal
that. There was,
came second.
yeah, exactly.
There was
so there was that,
a
and I
little
think
drop.
I think also he started getting results very early.
Immediately.
So again, like I 100% agree with you, but the reason why things work is based on like players are seeing that okay, this thing's working, this thing's working. Okay, we're doing this, we're dominating the game, we're scoring goals, and then that's how he builds. That's how he builds. Until now, kind of when he goes to a Man City, he can tell Kevin De Bruyne that you're going to play like this for me.
Yeah.
You can tell Mahrez that was player of the year,
Exactly.
that was doing certain things that you're going to play for me in this way. So because of results, but at the start, of course, it was a mixture.
and
don't
his
coach
and
Messi
his-
before he
and
come
his Man City, not Arsenal.
You get.
That also plays a point.
You know what? You don't coach Messi.
It's not Arsenal. It's not Man
Yeah,
United.
they always use
It's
Messi
Man
as-
City,
You
get.
can
don't
do
coach
as you
Messi.
wish.
You
Like
can
what
mold-
Jose did like for Chelsea. Like what Jose did for Chelsea.
Yeah. What do you
I just coach Messi, finish win treble. I
Yeah,
can't
no,
enter your dressing room. You can't tell me say you don't go do it. I say make you.
You understand? You know, that's why when
That was
greatest
empty.
of
when
all
Jose
time.
came to Chelsea were
Yes,
not.
now.
They don't
I
talk
tell them
about-
say you not like this, not like this.
You don't do the
Them Terry, they kept saying they have never seen anything like that.
You
When
understand?
Jose came, the first training session, he laid it out. Say they've never seen it.
So
It's different class. I'm the special one.
I want to touch base on
Not
Real
one of the
Madrid.
bottom.
I'm going to start with Ini. I see that again. The noise around the club, right? The things the manager wants is not as heightened as with say United, for example, right? I think you've seen. Someone said, Adagula should never have been on the bench. Vinny's on the bench now, effectively. Vinny's on the bench effectively now. Right? And if you know managers, they don't change the winning system. So next game, I think, is going to start with the same winning system. So Vinny's on the bench now. It was a noise for about a couple of weeks. We talked here and there. Guy went, played, won their game. Noise ended, came from the bench.
He came up from the bench and then
and scored. But what do you observe at Real Madrid now with Xavi going to the first, couple of weeks of the season? Do you think they need going to bring somebody, or anybody could leave in the final, couple of weeks?
There might be. I'm hearing murmurings that there might be a big shock coming out from Real Madrid. Vinny Jr. or Rodrigo might be on their way out. And it looks like it might be Vinny Jr. because it looks like there is something brewing there. Whatever happens, you don't bench Vinny Jr.
Yeah, if he leaves, he's going back to Brazil, because I don't know who signed him.
Man City, that's what I'm hearing. Man City. It can be a real surprise. Last till like did Man City launch a loan deal and get him out there. Because you do not bench Vinny for any reason under the face of the earth.
What do you mean for any
reason? No, for a player of his stature at the club,
I think there's an issue,
and all of that. I think there is something happening at that
so
club.
I hear contract problems.
The problem
are underlying, right?
Yeah.
But last year he was a bit under par after the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Last year he did
2 years ago.
Last year he did 40.
No, so it was 2 years ago that
40 goal involvement.
Yes.
2 years ago when he went for Ballon d'Or, but last year he was a bit underwhelming. Like,
I think as a club,
No, 40 goal.
I think as a club they were
I know
underwhelming
as
themselves. It was a poor season for them all round.
Yeah.
I don't believe Alonso for benching him.
But also I also think that Alonso is a new manager at the club. He's still testing the waters. He would want to get the right and all of that. I don't read too much into these things. It's just 2 games into the season.
Only when it's mine, you will really
No,
you will read everything.
I really like what Alonso is. I really like what Alonso is doing.
Ask for more.
I like what Alonso is doing because, and like I said, I just love how. Again, maybe because we're obviously Premier League is still the most watched league, and us as United fans. But it seems like I said, someone like Goulet, right? If Goulet was in, let's say, United, or how Manu, he didn't play 2 games.
Yeah,
like Madrid,
it's crazy.
Rodrigo, Champions League winner, one of Madrid's highest Champions League goal scorers. Like in even their history, he's got already at 23, he has over 30 Champions League goals already. He got almost 0 minutes in the Club World Cup.
Standards.
Almost 0 minutes Club World Cup. He was on the bench for most of the season. I think he played the last game.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Real Madrid, it's calm.
Bro,
Quiet.
When Chelsea,
He's
you know
impressed and
when Chelsea want to start the same thing, right? When they went to pursue Sarri because of what's his name, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah. It was a whole thing.
And I said,
It was a whole thing.
I said, what do you guys mean you can't bench him?
You get.
What do you guys mean? Like,
What do you mean you can't leave?
What do you mean you can't leave?
If you are that good, you show it else.
It's why guys like Martial stayed at Mine for 9 years.
Yeah,
That's why
if-
he's 200k a week.
If you're
That's
that
why.
good, then
Show it
when
else. Where I knew that this boy, he couldn't even cut it at Leverkusen. You can't cut it at Germany. I know that we were right to let you go now.
So that's my thing. I want to touch base. I don't know if you guys were speaking about it. I haven't had. But people say are good now.
What's happening with Barca?
People say are good. What's happening there?
How you enjoying my start boy?
I think
What's
we need a number
happening
9.
How you enjoying my
What's
Rashford?
happening? What's
I
happening?
don't want trust Ferran Torres. We need a number 9.
How you enjoying my
You have
guy?
Rashford now.
Rashford, no.
We're
If
getting one
you
of
guys
your
are
boys.
smart, if you guys
Fermin
if you can wait a year, get Isak.
Femi Lopez. You know if you get them.
For any, are you the sporting
If
director?
you guys are sharp, I think what you guys should just do, tell Isak hold up one year. Isak is perfect for you because he can do his.
That
So we
mean
don't
that
want
they
to do
don't-
like
they
Madrid.
don't know
Now
what
Madrid
they're
do that kind of thing now.
Like just tell him wait 1 year and that will
They
change
don't
your
have
life.
the money, They won't pay.
You can do it.
Literally
If you
change
save
your
it for
life.
1 year.
Don't-
That
If
is
you
Barca
if you
don't
wait
have
one
money.
more year, that
Perfect.
means
It
you'll be
will
free.
change
Come on,
your
you
life.
come
No,
free.
he has 3 years
That's the
left.
contract. Why do you think Liverpool are dying?
Just tell him wait 1
The
year.
thing is that we have a
That.
wage structure already, so we can't.
Newcastle
we can't
are
No, but
What-
if Lewandowski is what?
What's a
37?
signing that
Yeah,
would
Newcastle at this point, I think, are messing up. They just let
They
you.
should not start
on
first.
this Isak,
Like
on
Liverpool did with Coutinho.
no,
Like
on
he
on
just
on
rebuild
this
that team.
Isak thing,
Because
right?
why-
It's
you
pride.
gonna do?
It's pride.
And this is the final show before the international break and transfer window ends as well. And I think that Klopp should be very wary of the culture they are creating, right? And this is both for buying and selling clubs, right? Newcastle are holding on to Isak, right? Players on strike. But they also want a player who's on strike.
Who's on strike at Brentford?
At Brentford.
You understand?
They're saying something they don't know they're saying.
You understand?
They're telling. So what clubs are telling players now is that when
Only
he works for us, you get you know what? Burn the other club down.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
As long as it's coming to us, burn the other club down. Right. Then tomorrow the shoe is on the other side, on the other foot.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because I don't see why players have found it this convenient to execute this culture. Like, you know what? I'm not going to train. I'm going to cause problems.
It's crazy.
So,
you know, I don't want to play like that in my football club.
An Arsenal fan was saying about Isak's behavior. I was like, your number 9.
Yeah.
He did the same thing.
Same thing.
Did the same thing
To come.
to go. He said he wasn't training.
Tomorrow,
So he's like
tomorrow Barcelona
that's when
wants him. He said he's stunned.
When it suits.
The reason I don't, the reason I don't blame the players too much when they make those decisions, and again, we can't know what have happened behind the scenes. Oh, they told
I'm
me
talking about
this,
the one I know.
we had this agreement, all that. Actually, I agree. There's something here Henry said about where people might be a little bit, cross with you is where it gets to the point where you don't attend training. Because when you're an employee of a club, the least you have to do is show up for training. Whilst all these conversations, is going on. But again, the player will tell you, if I showing up for training, these people don't want to let me go. If I'm showing up for training, how do I secure my move away?
But if they actually do not want to let you go, if they don't want to let you go, whether you attend training or not, they will still not let you go.
I understand.
You are under contract.
I understand. So after all is said, that's why I'm looking at Newcastle. What good is it going to do if to have a player
who
that
doesn't want to play for you?
So at the end of the day,
because again, go back to the work culture, right? They are trying to, if it costs us £150 million, we're going to send a message clear.
They can't do it though.
No, again, relax. To set culture, you have to take some hard decisions, right? That this will be the first or the last time any player would hold culture ransom. The next players in Newcastle will think twice about doing what Isak has done.
That no top player will sign for them then. Exactly. No top player will sign for them then. Because players signed.
When Isak signed,
one thing I'm very sure
when Isak signed,
is that when Isak signed,
when Gimares was top player,
he wasn't there. However, I am 1,000,000% sure that when Isak was signing that contract, he knew that this has to be from here going to a level. A top player knows in his mind that this is where I'm going with my career, right? If Newcastle had gone and brought world-class players in multiple other positions, he might have looked at it and said, well, we now have a team that can win the Premier League or go and win the Champions. But we don't have that. I have a vision for my career. So when top players are signed, if Newcastle become a team where every time a player wants to leave, it becomes a problem.
But
people will think twice.
They set a fair price, in my opinion.
I don't even think they set a price. I think they're still on. It's not for sale.
No. If Liverpool drop
150 million, so what they are saying is you have to pay the 150 million upfront.
If Liverpool spends 116 on vets, you spend 150 million.
So if that is the case, then Liverpool have to go there and present. They have to do it. This thing of pay the 150.
Liverpool are just trying to destabilize.
Do you guys remember the first time
they are the only ones which I understand.
at Isak price, right? Isak, first of all, Newcastle are in control of his future.
Yes, they are.
3 years locked in.
So let's remove the contract. let's remove the contract down. Right? How much do you think Isak's value is best striker in the Premier League last season?
I mean,
I think 150 is fair.
Just about
No.
I genuinely.
I would say like 135.
I genuinely think
I'll say 120.
Good.
That's Isak's value without the contract.
Yeah.
When you control a player's future, for every year, I would add £10 million to it. Right. I have 3 years on his contract, right? I'm going to add £10 million to every
150 is a fair price.
So for 150 is fair.
150
for Florence Wirtz. Has not played in the Premier League. Cost 110 million pounds.
Now add-ons make it for enter 150
Add-ons should not even make it 100.
But it's not.
Come on,
it's
for a
not
player
their
who has
fault.
not-
It's the selling club's fault.
Did Chelsea not sign Havertz for 70-80 million pounds?
It's the
I
selling
said if
club's
defensive
fault.
midfielders are going for 115
For
million.
a player who was playing the Premier
striker
League.
at 25.
How much do
striker.
we think if Haaland was going to leave now? How much do you think it would be worth?
No, Haaland's going to be 100
Not
million pounds.
now.
No, be more.
Haaland now is not the
Haaland is still more valuable than
Haaland now. How much do you
and
think?
he's on a 10-year deal. Any like
Jonathan,
500k.
How much do we think Haaland will be worth?
10
Someone
years.
can pay 180.
Exactly.
Right now, without the contract,
Haaland.
Haaland is at least 100 million pounds.
Make it come replace
Without the contract
Lewandowski.
control, like his future.
Haaland
Without
is more valuable than Haaland is more valuable.
Exactly. Haaland is more valuable than Isak.
Exactly. So no. Off the back of last season.
No, he's still more valuable.
Haaland, as always, is
He's
younger,
still more
he's
valuable.
better, he's
You know,
everything.
the Scandinavian beast.
Haaland.
Exactly. So
Haaland,
The Viking.
yeah. So that's
He's still more valuable.
I still remember the first time I saw him World Cup under 20. He
Baba.
scored 9 goals. I'm not joking.
guaranteed goals.
20,
Yes.
17,
Whether the manager is
2017. He scored 9 goals in a
They
match.
won 11-0 or
They
so.
won 11. He scored 9 goals. I said, who
Madness.
is this man?
any of the players that has been signed that you think is going to that you need to put on forward watch early
Fraud
across
watch.
all the
I think
Fraud
Sesko.
watch.
I think
Fraud
Sesko.
watch.
Fraud
Sesko.
watch.
Sesko.
Sesko.
Yeah.
I'm not putting
No, I'm not putting Verts on fraud watch. I believe very well that Verts go ball. I
No, he will.
believe it very
He will.
well
He will.
that he will ball because this football on our brain. He just needs to get.
And he has
he has a brain.
He has
will
it.
ball. He
The
just
only
needs
problem
to
is
get
that his awareness has to be a lot
the
better.
tempo of the Premier League.
I've seen him in the first 2 games and
It's the tempo.
He's not aware of the
When
surroundings yet.
Bundesliga players come to
He's
the
not
Premier
aware.
League, that's what they struggle with.
He
No,
dey hope
not
he
Sancho.
dey hope of he
No, you don't see what Ekitike they do.
Ekitike na
He dey
black
come
man.
he sabi play ball.
He sabi play
But don't
ball.
get excited.
Yeah,
It's
the baller.
2 games into the season. They
It's
will
2
find
games.
them out by next week.
And he hasn't played.
let's not get excited, but let's get excited United losing 2 games.
I don't tell you, when is United will read all the books. And because United are coming from a different direction.
You understand?
But
But
Liverpool, Ekitike, I think
I think that Verts might struggle a little bit. And in his right. There's something something hits you from all sides, and it's just like wait, why is there so much movement around me? Like, it's not like it's like, why is the game so
fast.
unidimensional that at all sides of the game,
Yeah.
I need to do this at full throttle, this at full throttle.
He
that
will
kind of thing.
adapt. He will
So
adapt.
I think once he adapts to that,
Yes.
right,
Because
he has the right attitude.
You know why I know he would adapt.
Fine.
The reason he's getting into all those traffic, if you notice it, he doesn't scan enough before he
That's what I'm
receives.
saying. He's not aware.
He
of
doesn't
his-
know that now so
the
they
aware-
tackle for Premier League.
That's what
If he
I'm saying.
adapts to
He's
that,
the awareness.
You see, he will start balling.
Yeah, you need
There's
direction.
the one ball.
That's
Leeds,
what he meant.
Arsenal
you
leads.
need directional.
They gave one guy one
World
pass.
Cup,
Look at it.
2 minutes after.
They gave one guy one pass like this. One Leeds United player on Saturday. It be like the guy they feel saying
He
day out.
didn't get time.
Like they don't give him pass.
Bolian.
Don't give back. Before the guy just turned, so we meant don't put leg. The guy just turned. Say, what's going on?
Right.
That's what the Premier League
I
does.
make Ukuku don't work. Please, they should ship him to AC
Like
Milan.
that.
Every time he collects the ball, he slows it down.
Like
Now
that
Felix
Frank.
And Felix now.
Like that
Anytime
Frank-
goal scorer
Frank
that
Rijkaard.
year for German
Frank Rijkaard, he said it on this spot.
Gugu, they score goal.
He said his
Come
first
on.
Premier League game.
Injury.
I think I've forgotten the game. He said, like, the ball was just passing him. He said it was like, shall never be wrong career with this.
Exactly.
Like he said everything was so fast.
Yes, sir.
And
If
also,
You get your fitness up. You
if Amorim doesn't start Sesko in the next game,
No, he has to start.
no.
He has to start.
I'm just putting.
He has to. Then he's not serious.
making
I'm
the
just-
starter
I'm just
made
putting it
the
out
fraud
because
watch the
He has to, because you see, I don't believe. I don't believe this nonsense.
Sesko of fraud watch.
No, put him in the game.
No, but if
straight
you
up.
start him, that means
Mount is out.
Mount.
Yes, remove him.
Yes.
I think he likes Mount. I think
Of course he
I
does.
think there's one strong likeness for
Mount
Mount.
is the player every manager
It's
will like.
obvious.
You know, it's athletic.
But he'll start on the bench.
Why is it that it's a crime for United to have a strong bench?
Make una wait. now.
It's good.
Make una wait.
It's a crime.
Why is it a crime? Like,
Because so everybody must
You never
start.
get strong.
everybody must start.
You never get strong starting lineup. You only get strong
Why
bench.
everybody go start
You
man?
understand? If you watch Afro, you know bench was shit.
Yeah.
Bench was
But
complete
bro,
shit.
sorry.
Why
Sorry.
Relax.
You never get strong starting lineup. You only get strong
Line up,
bench.
you're strong.
Sorry, you don't get strong enough. Relax. You don't get strong enough. Right.
Make bench strong past starting lineup.
No. Remove Mount from the team. Remove Mount. Like you say, Mount is one of those guys that, because you see what they do, you work so hard. You know, he's
And Conor Gallagher, I think he might want to come back. So you guys,
I don't need. I don't.
I get a Premier League club once.
Right.
Gallagher.
Crystal Palace.
Let's talk
Palace.
about.
Yeah, he did
Let's
well
talk about Boniface. Right. And you guys were speaking about it.
I wanted to mention a name. I don't know what you guys think about Gyökeres just quickly before we go to Boniface.
Oh! God bless you for reminding me on Fraud Watch, please. No, you have to put him there.
Gyökeres.
My eyes. I don't want to. I don't want to. Be, I don't want to.
The
be
thing is, the
reactionary.
way he's looking.
But my eyes are.
Let me tell you, the reason I said Sesko on Fraud Watch, I was going to say Sesko on Fraud
so
Watch
that's
without any fault of his own. Because I think because United are still trying to find themselves, Sesko might struggle a little bit. That's why I said so.
Because if you watch Gyökeres,
But
last year,
Gyökeres-
the goal he scored, that is his first goal. But like half of his sporting goals exactly
Like
that,
that.
way, cutting up the left channel.
I know.
And I don't know, he was Leeds. I don't know how they can let him pass. You're not going to find that.
So
You're not going to find that every time.
I'm interested, and this is for Arsenal fans. This is not me. He could be a very
That
good player.
disclaimer, no,
But like in
they will
terms
still bash you.
as someone that's watching it, I'm trying to imagine him as a box striker holding up like what De Ligt did with like at his back. That he didn't know where to move. So if Arsenal are not playing on transition,
he said he dominated.
but no,
Did I say that?
But what I've heard, I've been reading with
Thunder go strike you.
Don't talk your mouth there.
You talk too much.
what I've been reading with Arteta this year is that you guys are you can tell me, let me know if I'm wrong, that you guys are trying to work more on like being a better transition team because you guys have been playing that kind of suffocating, dominating game, and now you're trying to kind of create artificial transition so he can maybe thrive a bit more. So I guess I think he needs that.
They're trying to adapt to him.
Yeah.
Do you know why
you
I
have to
think
adapt to him?
So basically, that's to invite opposition.
Exactly. So
You
you
know,
can
then you
create
break-
the
You
moments where
have
can
to
then
adapt to him.
break.
He's not
because
he's,
what the Arsenal have been
he's
doing,
not
they're
a
just
smooth
camping.
operator.
That's
he's not,
my problem.
He's not a smooth operator. He's not. That's why Arteta wanted Shesko. Shesko is a better player, better link-up player. With the ball at his feet.
Glides a bit like.
Gyökeres is a killer.
Yeah.
He will kill. Like he would, when he's in and around the box, he will just take the ball. Nothing finesse, nothing cute. He's just going to keep shooting. His shot on goal rate is the best in Europe.
His shot technique is
He
crazy.
just likes to shoot.
That penalty where he shoot there.
He
But
likes to shoot.
Are you fully confident about like he will be a success?
Yeah, I am. At least with Eze in the picture.
Yeah.
I think with Eze in the picture, you now have a player with a lot more clarity in that final third. Because
So who's going to bench for SZ?
Because of the
Martinelli.
team he plays in.
Martinelli.
I thought
Odegaard is injured.
Odegaard na that son-in-law.
They say na captain.
Abi Odegaard get Arteta nude.
What were you guys talking about Boniface? What was that about? Someone said
Why are
Beyonce
you
put on tweet.
pointing at
I haven't seen the tweet.
So it's obviously the move to
Yeah,
AC
to
Milan
Milan, yeah.
failed.
I have a lot of sympathy for that actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do too. I do
absolutely.
too.
I've seen somebody make a very naive comment and say, when I was telling him to stop running around league, I'm like, that's not why a player feels medical.
Very.
That's what
Then-
he's saying. No.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let him. He's here now.
You understand?
They talk like saying no.
And you know what amazes me is that after so many years of doing this podcast, some of these brothers still think we're on Twitter. doing banger tweets.
Banger boys.
Relax, lads, relax. Anyways, so one of our headbones, obviously, BK
Right.
put out a tweet and said, football is a very serious business. The people in football, they take it very, very seriously. It does not help that Boniface has a perception, this is an unserious person that loves to joke online, and all that. That was the tweet. And I believe very strongly that there is nothing wrong with the tweet. A lot of people, like they usually do on Twitter, have completely misrepresented the tweet.
They missed the point.
Misunderstood the tweet, they missed the point. What I believe he was talking about, how did people like Pogba, Sancho, these people, how did they get the perception that they got? He is talking about the perception. He is not saying that what he is doing is genuine, is directly impacting his football. Oh, that's why he got ACL. Or that's why. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that the people in football, just this week or whenever, a particular consulate, the embassy said, if we want visa now, you give us your social media records, right? Why? So in football, what he's saying is that it's a serious business. You can't rule out the fact that you are trying to sign a player, they would go through.
But my question
the person.
didn't AC Milan, what does that have to do with the move failing, or is it just a
No. I think he put out that tweet with regards to they're looking at, if you have this type of perception, can we trust also your lifestyle? That's what.
But he wanted to buy him in the first place. So
no, of course, because he's a good player.
Yeah, so I think it was just based on, I think, the serious business, in the sense where, like, any small issue with medical, based on you're going to spend big money, especially a Serie A club. But like in terms of his lifestyle, they would have done all that before.
I don't believe that the tweet is saying that's why he didn't get this.
I'm just gonna read the tweet.
No, that's not your problem. You said he has nothing to do. Why is he putting the tweet out? He's saying that's no. What you said was that he's saying that's why the move failed, or that's why he got an ACL.
What does he have to do with failing? I'm gonna read the tweet out.
But that's not what the tweet is about,
right? Because the tweet is here. It's not like, and football is extremely serious business. Those who work in the game take themselves and their jobs seriously. If you insist it is fine for a player to actively cultivate being perceived
perception in they talk about
as being unserious, even when he isn't playing well and failing medicals, right? Who am I to argue? Enjoy, right? So the tweet, from my understanding, right, is simple, right? If you think that what is he saying? If you think that failing medical is something to joke about,
you get his perception he's talking about. Okay. He didn't say that's why he's
joking about.
You said he didn't what?
He didn't joke about the medical.
No, he said having a perception. Truly, do we not agree that Boniface has a perception of that guy and a joke star, that guy, happy-go-lucky guy? As much as there's a place where that works, there's also a place there that might hurt you. Because when we say someone fails a medical, let me ask a question. Let me pose a question to you. When we say someone fails a medical, there's also a possibility that he has done the medical, they've looked at it that, this guy, he has this record. But he's okay now, but we don't trust that this thing will not happen again. Or we don't trust that he's in a frame of mind to maintain the kind of life that would make sure that this thing doesn't happen again. Is that possible? Do you understand my question? Yeah. Is that possible?
But ACL,
do you understand the question I'm asking? Exactly. So in that regard,
ACL is not based on lifestyle.
In that regard, bro, every single thing in your body is based on lifestyle.
If you have an ACL injury, like, there's a way you have to rehab.
You have to,
like,
bro. Every single thing is based on lifestyle.
For 5 years. So
you understand?
So this is how it is, right? If you have an ACL, right, you are now in a 100-meter race, you're now behind the rest of the players.
Yeah, so
right?
you have to
do you now have to do extra to stay.
Look at this guy's leg now in his this Bayern Munich left back. Davis. Look at his leg. Yeah. ACL is serious business.
Again, the precedence the precedence is if you remember
because you people will make it a case of blaming him now.
Hold on a second, right? If you remember Ruud van Nistelrooy's story at United.
Yeah, when he had to wait a year.
There's a fault in your knee, right? You have to go heal, come back, kind of thing. United they signed him eventually, still knowing that this was in. We've seen this. You understand? Now, I am not saying, but the perception is going to come in there. Like
it will.
If we're still going to go ahead with this transfer, right? What is the news from the grapevine?
Like, you understand?
What are the fillers?
Let me
you understand?
Let me help you there.
I'm not just.
I feel that
let me help you there. Can you remember? I'm not going to name any
honest.
names. Can you remember? We had a conversation with a certain footballer that told us whenever they're going away, they give them what they have to do and they give them how the club monitors it, but they know how they fake it.
They know how they go around it. Yeah.
So you can't tell me that perception doesn't come in if the club sees that, this is who this person is. Whenever he's in that place, this is what he does. He goes to this, he goes to this. On top of that, he now has this injury record. So there is no way perception will not come into their decision.
I agree. So I think there's a tendency to.
I was not blaming the guy. It's not his fault that he had an ACL.
Analyzing this
again, why I'm happy. This is why I always say that. I'm happy when players bargain hard for their contracts.
Yeah.
Right. And hold on to it because that's your security, right? Because when clubs want to make their choices, right? They make their choices cold-blooded kind of thing, right? So that's why it's important that if I say I want X amount for X years, if you don't want to give it to me, I'm going to give it to somewhere else.
For me also,
Do you understand?
The Al-Nassr deal was...
So
Was-
this is
it
particularly
failed
painful.
too.
Was,
Do you understand?
was that a failed medical?
No.
No, they went with another.
They said-
Another player, yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
But
is it that-
on the flip side,
That's mad, though.
on the flip side,
I ain't get
if there's
it.
any player that you want at this moment to have a type of persona to absorb it, it's kind of Boniface's persona.
Yeah, I
He's-
think on a personal level.
Yeah.
On a personal level.
Yeah.
It's the guy that you, and somebody said it, this is possibly how this guy handles everything. He's gone through. He's had 2
Yeah.
ACLs. He's had, a lot of, whatever. And that is true. But what, again,
No, it's just
again, it's the same perception of if you were lying on the hospital bed and they tell you this is your doctor, you might eventually realize that, yeah, he's a doctor, he's good enough. But you can't tell me it won't occur to you that,
Yeah.
I beg you, this
Yeah.
doctor, we
Yeah.
PS here, as a guy now. It's perception.
It's
What I'm talking about
perception,
is
yeah.
perception.
Yeah.
Football, there's a reason football players now in preseason put out a lot of content about them running.
I've been walking,
and jogging. I've been walking. It's
I've been
perception.
walking. I've been walking.
They are trying to
That's what I'm
create,
telling you.
you understand? Because they don't want you to get a creation of I'm on serious. I'm going to practice everywhere. Or it's perception. We're not saying that that's why you got an ACL, but you can't deny the fact that the perception plays roles when people have conversations about individuals.
Having said that, be very careful on the main line.
So I think
I only ride in tinted cars. now.
I think that I would not say BK's tweet is wrong,
Oh.
and I will not say it is right. I think the tweet.
So what do you want to say?
The tweet came. I'll not talk. Not about the tweet itself. I think the tweet came at the wrong time
Okay, that I can agree with.
because failing a medical to probably one of the biggest clubs in the world is enough mental issues for you as a footballer.
Yeah.
And I think that we should be the ones, trying to encourage him. Because I remember I was watching one podcast where he was talking about the Al-Nassr deal and how that thing broke him. Like, it's because of the person.
A lot of
that
money
was
has to
able
break anybody.
take it, you get. So, this same issue is happening, and hold on. And we are coming to talk about his lifestyle. I feel that can be said.
We
later
are
on.
not coming to talk about. We came to talk about United today, right? That's what we came to do today, right?
I don't know what
I don't know what you're on about, right?
We're coming to talk about his lifestyle.
Let it
Who
be
follow you come talk about his lifestyle?
I don't understand.
But
We're living in the
but
show.
I still think that as a Nigerian boy, growing up in different part of Lagos, the struggles and everything, there is no way you cannot say that Victor Boniface has not been successful to a big level.
Yeah, of
Who
course.
said that? Who?
No, hold on.
I am.
The fact that we talk about his lifestyle more than what he has achieved is actually unfair to what he has achieved.
Where do you get it from? Talk
This-
about it. Like, where do you get it from? Do you just stay on your own? And let's talk about Victor Boniface's lifestyle.
No, that's the
No.
perception.
No, what I'm saying-
That's
No.
what most people talk about.
You get it because
IBK.
he's in public.
IBK.
He
What
puts
has
himself. He puts himself in public. See. Hold on.
Won the
What has
Bundesliga.
he achieved?
Hold on.
IBK, what has he achieved?
Hold on.
What
Hold on.
he has achieved
Hold
as
on.
a
IBK,
footballer.
hold on.
What has he achieved?
IBK, hold on. Frank Onyeka, for example, right?
Yeah.
Where do you know? Where did you see Frank? What's the last thing? What do you want to say about Frank Onyeka right now?
He's a footballer.
He's a football player, right? He plays for where in Germany, right? Plays in
Back
Brentford,
to
right?
Brentford now.
Back in Brentford.
Back to Brentford, right? Fantastic. What else do you have to say about him? Right? Because he doesn't put out much.
Exactly.
But you know we are different.
Hold on now. Last time I saw him was on the Culture Podcast, right? Victor Boniface, I saw him on a TikTok video. After the video was funny as hell, right? There were
It's
a couple
funny.
There were a couple of babes.
Yeah, they didn't know him.
They didn't know him, right? I like all of that, right?
It's funny. You will laugh at it.
Right. I'm saying that there are Emeka's, good term. There are what's the word? Trade-offs
Of
Right.
course now, with everything.
with
in
everything
life.
you do. Do you understand? And trust me, I don't think that Boniface is a laissez-faire guy. I think he's a happy-go-lucky guy, and we need
Yeah.
that balance in life,
Yeah.
right? What the tweet is saying, right, is that for this, there is this perception you can create. So if
Exactly.
you're a football player, right, from a disadvantaged continent, so to speak, where you don't have as much capital in terms of these players, their longevity and things like that.
So
Yeah, that kind of thing, right? Because you're from Africa.
So I have a question. In terms of
Right.
I have a question. In terms of this, when we're talking about this perception, is this perception right or wrong in a sense? First of all, like when the perception of him, is it that he's because someone like Pogba had a perception where Pogba is a devout Muslim. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
He lives his life perfectly well. He's just a bit flamboyant. So that's a perception, a wrong perception. So is this perception about Victor Boniface now that okay, maybe these things affected a move potentially in a different type of way? Is there a perception that he's maybe not a good trainer or is a partier? Or is it just that he's again a Nigerian that is a bit more happy-go-lucky than the average Nigerian?
What I would say is that, please, first of all, let's make something very clear. And I think, Wale, you need to be very intentional in putting this out. Because we're not saying that his lifestyle is the reason he has failed a medical or is the reason why his moves to these two clubs has failed. Please, that has to be very important, put out there. That said, the concept of perception is not very hard to understand. So I don't understand why
apparently it is.
People try to make because talk about Pogba. Yes, a devout Muslim, but the perception of Pogba is not entirely wrong.
Yeah,
the perception people had of him is not entirely wrong. And I'll say something else. When people see that you are invested in other things that are not particularly agreeable with football, they feel unsure about whether or not you are dedicating the necessary time to football to get to a certain level.
It's a balance.
So when people see Pogba, he wears this two earrings.
If you are Paris Fashion Week today,
you go to this
and we have
Fashion
Champions
Week,
League on Wednesday,
problem,
right? So when did you come back?
The issue is that what you cannot argue against is if people now have a perception of, should this guy really get time to really do what it takes to be at this level of the game, especially when it now also looks like your performance is not
at this top level.
So you start almost as if you are reinforcing their perception.
I disagree because I think, again, like you said with perception, so again, it's like marketing. Another thing I studied is like, just because you create this perception of yourself does not mean it's true.
Of course it
So
does
like
not.
you said, people seeing someone working hard. Rashford is always doing training videos, but they were saying that he wasn't training properly. He'll go out the night before drunk, come back, didn't train. Right? So Pogba, yes, he might have been showing other things that people didn't like. Does not mean he's not training as hard as everybody else.
Does not mean, I'm talking about perception.
Yeah, so my point is, so is it that is the perception of this person true or false?
So like I said,
Pogba, but you said that you thought the perception of Pogba was true.
No. I said it's not entirely wrong. Why? Because the performances of the show started almost like proving the perception right. You will never know if the perception is right or wrong. You will never know, except you are behind the scenes.
But it was right everywhere except a specific situation where everybody else failed.
I promise you, bro.
For Juventus, he was fine. For France, he was fine.
No.
For United, he was up and down like everybody.
I promise you,
everybody in the last 12 years.
At Juventus, the only club, the only club United have Pogba played well was at Juventus, and we all know why. It was because you understand he had no responsibility.
He was only at 2 clubs in his peak now.
That's what we're saying.
But for his national team, he was the best player in the World Cup.
No. He wasn't the best player at the World Cup. He had Griezmann, he had Kante, he had Mbappe in the team.
Do you know how Pogba was so instrumental in that World Cup?
No. I don't know say he's instrumental.
Very.
In the midfield that had Pogba.
Scored in the final.
Tell me, how did
the first
goal when
the game was won?
When you have Blaise Matuidi and N'Golo Kante,
in the midfield. What else do you have to do?
If you have a good team, it means you're not instrumental.
No, that's not what I said. You said he was the best player. He's not.
He was one of the best players.
He was their best player.
He was one of the best players.
I agree.
And he was their leader. Was one of the leaders of the team.
We'll take that.
I take that. I
will hold it. But you see, if we're talking about he's one of the leaders in the team,
yes,
me, I can guarantee you, he's probably number 4 or 5.
No, it's not true. Wait. Boys, look up to
There was Griezmann in that field. There was Giroud in that team. there was Kante in that team.
Oh, God,
there was
God.
Matuidi in that team. Because of halftime team talk, now he be leader.
Bro, if you put Giroud ahead of
I
Pogba,
said number 4.
If you put
He's
Giroud,
number 4 or number 5.
Bro, if you put Giroud ahead of Pogba,
Griezmann in that
Hugo
team.
Lloris,
There's Griezmann in that team.
There's Hugo Lloris.
There's Hugo Lloris in that team. There's Matuidi in that team. Let's say Kante doesn't talk.
Rufai, you're very wrong on this.
Bro,
Very wrong.
leadership is not only talking.
Let me explain to you.
Leadership is not only talking. Leadership is what you do also in the context of the team on the field.
Yes, I know what the Pogba.
Griezmann was the guy that was ordering everybody where they needed to be.
Gentlemen,
Pogba was enjoying his game, having a good time.
No,
Let's land it. Let's land it. Right?
Like I said it's number 4 or number 5.
I agree with
I
that.
disagree with that.
Let's land it right. And this is what I think, right? If you take that,
Pogba is not what I'm talking about.
if you take that, if you hold on to that, if you hold on to that dressing room, thing. Again, there are players who are silent operators, right?
Yes.
The best midfielder for the last couple of years in the world is Kante. Kante does never talk to anybody.
Do you understand?
Right? Will you tell me? Are you telling me that
He's not a leader.
Are you telling me that Pogba is more a leader than Kante?
In that team that won the World Cup.
He's not.
In that team that won the World Cup. What are you saying?
What are you talking about?
Wait.
Again. Pogba is a camera guy.
This is the perception thing that we're talking about. This is the perception thing.
You be quick question.
This is the perception thing.
Before that World Cup,
Right.
Before that World Cup, can anybody tell me anything important Pogba had done?
It does not
Before that World Cup.
does not mean that this is leadership.
I know it does not mean.
This is leadership.
I know it does not mean.
What does he do now?
What I'm saying is that leadership plays out in different forms.
Of course.
So,
but who was more of a
speaking-
leader? But
so
who was more of a
speaking-
leader in that team?
speaking-
Pogba was more of a leader than
in
Kante
that
in that
team that
team.
won the World
But you
Cup.
are
Pogba was more of a leader.
I'll count three for
Pogba
you.
was more of a leader than Kante in
I'll
that
count
team.
three for you.
Pogba, Kante when they World Cup, they say, Baba, you guys carry this
You
trophy.
must be
That's what you're
there.
talking about. That's different to leadership.
Leadership plays out differently. Leadership plays out differently.
Somebody said something. Somebody said, I think it was Rocky saying that Ryan Giggs never spoke a lot.
That's not what I'm saying.
Hold on
That's not what
now.
I'm saying.
Hold on
That's
now.
not the argument.
Hold on now.
But he
Your
wasn't.
argument is
well,
leader,
he
like
wasn't
leadership
leader.
only talk.
I'm saying what was on ground. Pogba was one of the leaders of that team.
I did not say
more
he's
than
not
Kante,
one of-
more
no,
than
no,
Giroud.
No.
The leader of that team was Lloris, then there's Varane, then there's Griezmann and Pogba. Giroud was never a leader in that team.
Pogba is not number one,
Kante was not the leader in that team. Those guys were ahead of
I
Kante in that
disagree
team.
vehemently.
Like,
How
go back
do
and-
you
let me
tell me Giroud is not a leader in that team?
Let me say this.
Giroud was a few goals from being
Where we
the
walk
top.
up.
The
That
top.
does not mean you're a leader. That does not mean you're a leader.
No.
That does not mean you're a leader.
Let's leave it here.
Bro,
Because they're almost top scorer, means you're a leader.
gentlemen,
Someone that had like 5 shots
Let
on
me-
target in the whole tournament without any goals.
Let me bring it in.
Again, leadership plays out.
In different ways.
In
So,
different-
Okay, then how do you
So-
put Giroud over Pogba? Like on what basis?
so basically, your
Now-
entire
How do you put Pogba ahead of Giroud? On what basis?
Because
I saw a
on ground
video.
he was the leader and he,
No. Stop
No.
saying he was a leader.
No,
On what basis?
I am
have
saying
you
basis.
put
because
Giroud?
when if you go back to that time,
Yeah.
and you see how the team was, and even what they
How?
used to say. Sorry, and
How?
even,
How?
No, so okay, if there's a World Cup final and if one person is the one doing the speech, you can't tell me that person is not a leader.
You did not say he's not a leader.
Have you ever seen? Okay. Oh, so on what basis has Giroud? Can you put Giroud over Pogba?
The
So,
video
Okay,
of
on what basis can you
Pogba
put Giroud over
came
Pogba?
out.
I want to give you an example.
What
I'll-
is the
I'll give you an
chance that
example.
other
Okay, how?
people made
So,
speeches that did not come out?
Giroud scored. That was the World
What
Cup.
was the
Giroud
chance?
scored only one goal, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If at all, Seth.
Go
He
and
didn't
look
score,
at-
he didn't score a goal.
He didn't score at all. Go and look at all the reports about Giroud's tournament. He was singularly, possibly, in that attack line, their most important player. Wait, let me finish. You have just said, wait now, I go tell you now, I dey go there. You have just said, how is Giroud a leader? And I've said, leadership playing out the different roles. When you see some of the most senior players in the team doing absolutely what is necessary to be done for the team to achieve the set out goals, that is the highest form of leadership. It is not speech. It is not giving speeches.
It's completely different.
It is not giving speeches. Giroud played that tournament. Giroud played that
As in,
tournament, not
completely
looking
different.
for personal glories.
Let me give you an example.
He did absolutely what he needed to
That
do
is
to
leadership.
make Pogba play
that
the
what-
ball.
That is
to make
leadership.
Giroud-
In football,
No, that's
That's the
leadership.
most important one.
Is that what-
That's
that's
leadership. That is leadership.
That's what we are talking about.
As in that what we're talking about. Is Darren Fletcher a leader over Michael Carrick?
Is leadership.
Because he works hard.
You agree
That
with
is that
this,
leadership.
That is
That's what I'm
leadership.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
It's fine.
Why do we always
Being
talk about when a
selfless-
young player comes into a team
What I think
and he
is-
sees
because
and he sees what the senior players do on the field?
So if you're a flamboyant player, you can't be a leader.
Was
This is what I always
If
say
you're a
about.
flamboyant player, you can't be a leader on the pitch.
You have decided to
was
say
Aspili-
something what we didn't say.
Rufai,
Other guy
was
is not a leader
Aspilicueta
because he's
a
a flamboyant
talker
player.
in a team?
No.
Aspilicueta.
No.
Yes.
Was he a talker?
No, he wasn't.
Why did Conte say that if I have
It is
11
not about talking.
Aspilicueta,
So it's
I win the
about what?
title
No,
every
you're
year?
saying
Why?
What you have said is leadership now is
Wale
because
brought in an ace and said that World Cup halftime video, which is pretty much, and that's what you're pretty.
not because you can't. Not because you work hard and you sacrifice yourself for a team. That's not
That's leadership.
No, but
That's leadership.
when you're talking
That's
about
leadership.
who are the
It's a
leaders of
form
a
of
team,
leadership.
when you're talking about who are the leaders of a team, it's not just because someone
It's not that-
sacrificed
that you
himself.
can- you
It's
can-
about
it's not just
everything.
because of something that
my point is-
only leadership. You cannot.
So
Because
Pogba is not a leader on the pitch because
I
he's
did not say he's not a leader.
But
I
how
did
is
not
Giroud
say
above
he's not a
Pogba?
leader.
How
I
is Giroud
said
above
he's
Pogba?
number 4 or 5.
Who would have
That's
carried?
what I said. And I
Who
counted
carried Captain
Hugo
Alban?
Lloris.
Who carried Captain Alban? Giroud or Pogba?
Gentlemen,
See,
let's agree.
I have
disagree,
said-
right? What I'll leave you guys to is this, right?
What are we talking about here?
What I'll
Those boys, they all look up to Pogba.
What I'll leave you guys with this, right? In that World Cup,
I thought it was a
in
follower.
that World Cup that Messi won,
Yeah.
that World Cup that Messi won,
Like
right?
Messi doesn't talk
Messi
much.
doesn't talk much.
But
Messi
Messi's a
doesn't
leader.
talk much.
But you know,
I said Messi doesn't talk much. Okay, don't.
They say he doesn't talk much. Well,
so
listen.
perception. So you understand perception now. You know that your ideas from perception.
Do you understand?
You understand?
They do like say, I don't get what you. I know what you will talk.
Ultimately,
Everybody knows not every captain
And I
has to
play-
be a talker.
so-
That's not the
Dalo,
Exactly.
Dalo, for example, right?
Not everybody
Dalo-
knows. Everybody knows that.
Do you know that Dalo is the one that grants the most interviews as manager player? Dalo grants the most
You
interviews.
be not tired. You say this guy he's always talking.
Dalo is always talking. Like this week,
Leadership is a combination of everything.
But you know, so
Not
you know
because you
what?
sacrifice yourself for the pitch,
You know,
or not
so-
because you're a talker does not mean you're a leader.
Yes.
But in that team,
that Dalo type leadership, I don't want
in
it.
that team,
That's the type. That's the type that
Anyways.
is popular now in football.
Anyways, you can understand.
Right.
Anyways.
That type of
talking-
leadership.
Anyways.
When camera there,
You want to be there. You want to
You
talk.
want to be there because camera.
That's why
Come on, is there, you want to talk.
You Pogba, after you don't give speech finish, there's a guy you need to be tracking.
You are not tracking him.
You are jogging because you are giving a speech.
Speech.
You are
You
not
say-
telling
you
me
don't
that the
say you're a
people
leader.
that watch their socks off in the team, they are not leaders. Bro, you had Blaise Matuidi, Kante, and everything. in the team.
Matuidi and N'Golo
that's not his role now.
So, but you are telling me
That's not his role.
but you are telling me that those other people are not leaders for
Leaders.
doing
I did
their
not
own
say that.
role.
I said
Nobody says so now.
You are saying you just said
The
no.
argument is just
The moment I said
It's
that
a
the
combination
people-
of everything.
The moment I said the people who put themselves on the line without looking for personal glory to get what the team wants, you said no, that's not leadership.
No, I said that you can't use that as your basis for leadership alone.
That's what he said.
Not because someone sacrifices themselves does not make them a
I
leader.
have readjusted it. I will take it.
Right.
You have readjusted it. I will take it. It's fine.
No, he said it. He said that's not the only point.
It's fine.
He said that's not the only point.
What was
So in this
Pogba
studio,
doing in the French
we're six
team?
in this studio.
That
was doing his
looking,
role. He was
wait,
doing his
what
role.
was
So
Pogba
a leader
doing?
can only be
Hold on,
someone
what
that
was
knows how to
Pogba
say
doing
no
in
to
the
his
French
role.
team?
So Pogba was doing his
That
role.
if I'm sitting outside and watching, I don't see any
Pogba was
video of
doing
him
his
talking.
role.
I don't see any
I
video of
understand
any
it.
of them talking. If I'm sitting and watching that French team, what was Pogba doing in
His
the
role,
team
creating
that I
and
will
scoring and
sit down and
assisting.
say, this guy is a leader in the
God
team?
bless you.
He's already
Wait.
Giroud was leading the line, connecting play.
Wait. Wale, you are a bigger joker. This question, this guy
In
just
France
asked me.
98, in France
Senior
98,
man.
hold on.
He's doing his basic
Relax,
role.
relax.
Hold on. In France
He's doing
98,
the team. He's doing his basic role.
hold on. Do you know
Blaise Matuidi.
His basic role, and you are saying
IBK, hold on.
Was
Hold
Pogba
on.
not doing his basic
Hold on.
role as
In
well?
France 98,
Was Pogba not doing his basic role as
IBK,
well?
hold on. In France 98, Didier Deschamps, the coach of France, was the captain of France in that team. They had a teammate. That's why he played Giroud in every game. When France won the World Cup, he had a teammate called Stefan Givac. Givac did not score one goal in France 98. He played every game in France 98.
Yep.
He had the role of Giroud. That's why when when Didier Deschamps saw Giroud, when you are sacrificing your personal play, linking up play,
that's the
you're not
highest
looking
level
for-
of leadership.
It is the highest level of leadership in
That's
a
the
team.
highest level of leadership.
It's the highest level.
I'm not saying that's the only leadership.
Højlund sacrifices himself for the team. Is he a leader?
Who?
Højlund, he sacrifices himself for the team. Is he a leader?
He doesn't
No, he
sacrifice.
does. Højlund sacrifices himself for the
When
team.
you're playing up,
Is he a leader?
Yeah, he does.
no.
Yeah, he
No,
does.
that's what I'm saying.
How
Leadership is a
How does he
combination.
sacrifice? You have
Leadership is a
skewed
combination
it.
of everything.
Emeka, you have
It's a
skewed
combination.
it. Emeka, you have skewed
It
it.
is a no. It's
See where I'm coming from.
because they're
I
saying
said when you see
Closing arguments.
the most
Gentlemen.
senior and the most established
You
players
don't
of the
swear.
team
You don't
doesn't
swear.
matter.
Closing argument. Gentlemen.
sacrificing themselves
Self.
to achieve
Just
the
because you
ultimate
sacrifice-
goal. Let me give you an
if you
example.
sacrifice-
When we're going to play,
Gentlemen,
no vex, no vex.
gentlemen,
We'll finish it.
no.
When we're going to play the Champions
Allow-
League final, when we're going to play the Champions League final, Florian Malouda said, "I'm injured, but I'm able to play." Players play with injury all the time. It's the first Champions League final Malouda was going to play since he has been at Chelsea. He went to Di Matteo and he said, "Look, I want to play because it's the Champions League final, but I also know I'm not 100%. So please, play the person that is 100%. That's why Bertrand became the youngest player to ever play the Champions League final. That is leadership.
It is.
That's him sacrificing himself for the better of the team.
that's leadership.
That is leadership. That is leadership. That's the highest form of leadership in a football team.
Gentlemen, closing arguments, right? Emeka, closing argument, 1 minute.
For me, I think it's got
My
to,
speaker.
It's a. I don't even know the word to use. But
It's
for me,
decided to a fact.
if sacrificing yourself for the team, when I talk about leadership, I guess it's just semantics at this point.
Right,
If you're-
exactly.
If you're saying that, because I sacrificed myself for the team, I'm a leader. Okay, fine. But when I talk about leadership and I'm talking about when I'm talking about captains, it's not just that alone. Yes, sacrifice is important, but if you're saying, Pogba didn't sacrifice because he wasn't running hard for the team, I mean, his role was to create, so he was doing his own role as well as being a vocal leader. And again, Pogba's leadership is also charisma. Pogba is one of those guys that people follow him, seniors follow him. So it's not about Pogba is not doing hard yards and killing himself on the pitch.
Yeah.
Pogba as a leader in that team, and go back look at the record. Pogba was world captain armband more than Giroud. Not because Giroud sacrificed himself, he wasn't good enough to score.
So
Then that does not make him a leader in that sense. He sacrificed.
Please, last thoughts now.
He
So
provided
please, when is my
leadership.
turn? Let me know.
He provided leadership in that moment, but that is not for me. That's not what I would call a leader instead of a captain.
Abike, do you have any? Do you have any? How do you
Final
say it?
thoughts.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, thank you
Closing
very much.
argument.
I appreciate your efforts, and I will say it again, and I will say it.
Now,
on
wait,
this
they waste time. I cut you off now. You
Daddy,
see?
give up.
and I will say it on this
They
table
give you closing argument 2 minutes.
because say
Rigmarole.
everybody finish food, you go wash plate. No make you leader. You just choose say you want wash plate. Person we cook serve go tell you saying be leader. Person we bring pot come go tell you saying be leader. Person we bring ingredients come go tell you saying be leader. So I think that leadership is based on what you are saying.
So you're saying what Rufai said that it's
And
different from.
if, as long as you are doing your role on the field and it is yielding results to a point of winning the World Cup, I think there can be, you can't call that.
so
you can't,
Pogba win World Cup, Giroud no win.
no, that's what I'm saying. That Pogba's role in that World Cup win. Go and watch their documentary.
I have
on
not
this.
watched
Giroud did his
You
own role.
understand-
Pogba did his own role.
Yeah, that's you
Like what I
understand.
mean,
the-
so now
Then one person come out, one person talk.
Even the coach said it.
That's-
that-
that's
As
a
I'm
big
closing
thing.
my argument.
Sorry,
As I'm closing my
when
argument.
Pogba was banned, when
Abike,
Pogba was
finish.
banned,
Let Rufai take
when
it
Pogba
away.
was banned,
Okay,
the coach,
finish.
hold
I
on,
told you
the
that time.
coach said it with, hold on, the coach said it that they are going to miss Pogba and they are missing Pogba.
When
They
so
play.
wait,
That's-
which
that's-
coach?
Didier Deschamps, go check out.
When did he say?
Go read them. He talk about
I know they
Pogba.
read
Go
them.
read them. I go bring them once I don't.
I'm not reading
As
it.
I'm closing my
Check,
argument.
check am now where you write
And,
it out.
closing my argument.
and I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
Don't say it again. We've heard it before.
I think that.
Say it again now.
I think that we should, when a player is doing well and is also having this social lifestyle, I think we should focus on them doing well.
Yeah, you focus on that.
Focus on their lifestyle. Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you.
God
The
bless
day,
you.
I use the mic.
the day you have a 15, 16-year-old kid that you send to secondary school, right? And the teachers are coming back from your kid's school and saying, he was doing well before 2 classes ago. Now, he wants to play football, he wants to do drama, he wants to, look a certain way. It looks like this result is suffering, and that result is, he never suffer finish, but he just be like, say, focus. There are a few things that are dragging his focus here and there. Tell those teachers that please, Shebi he has not failed. Leave him, let him continue. Even if when is your intended.
Yeah.
That said, the question I was going to ask is, I need you guys to be very honest. That World Cup champions France won.
That direct that to Ini.
Emeka and
It is very dishonest.
Emeka and IBK. That World Cup France won. If you take Pogba out of that World Cup, do you think they win it? Really? Wait. If you take Pogba out of that World Cup, do you think they win it still? That same World Cup.
I think you win it.
If you take Giroud out of that,
What kind of
thing,
agenda-based hypothetical is that?
do you think if they take
A
Giroud
man that
out
did
of
not
that
score
team,
one single goal, that you're telling me that
I want to believe that we understand
You take
football
Giroud out
on
of-
this table.
No.
No,
To a level.
It is a ridiculous
If
hypothetical.
you remove Giroud too, I think they win it
It's
still.
a ridiculous hypothetical.
No problem. It's a question. Moving on.
Yeah.
Now,
Ini, what do you think?
where I started from,
I think they still win it regardless.
If you remove both players, still win it,
Both
right?
players.
where I started from was
What do you think?
where I started from. You can't say. You can't. It's a very simple question. Baba, see, if you want to do this show, come on the show. If you want to do this show, come on the
shut the
table or
fuck
you
up.
mic yourself. Stop interrupting me.
Stop. That's true. Please leave our
Now,
this
now,
thing. IBK, what do you think?
I don't think any.
He
I
won't
don't-
think
I don't-
anything.
I don't come on mic
He
for
won't
my-
think anything.
mouth.
He won't. Where I started from.
Rufai,
we're talking
please,
about
let's
perception.
finish
We're
up.
rounding it up. It's leadership play out in different forms. That's where I started from.
For sure.
Nobody said only speaking is leadership or cannot be leadership. Nobody said only sacrificing yourself in the team or not cannot be leadership. What I said was, if you find the most senior players in the team not going for personal glory, sacrificing themselves to achieve the set goals of the team, that is the highest level
form.
of leadership
It is.
in a football team.
It is.
That's what I said. You might not agree with it.
Yeah.
One day maybe you own a football club, you find
can
it.
I ask why that
now,
is? Why is that?
Now, the reason is because football, as much as
team sport.
is a team sport, when you have senior players who individually have their own very big personalities and very big egos, they want to be the protagonist. They want to be the reason when people talk about the fact that they've won.
Yeah.
They want to be this team won because of me.
do you think
when
that-
you find those kind of players pushing their personal agenda to the back burners and saying, I will do everything possible. Samuel Eto'o
Would
playing
any
left
manager-
back just so Inter Milan can win the Champions League. Giroud doing what he had to do just so the Florian Malouda situation I mentioned. That is the highest level of leadership. I'm not saying there are not other forms of leadership.
But let me just ask
I
one
am
question
saying-
on that. So your argument for that. So if Pogba is a better player than Giroud,
Yes.
They play different rules. As a technical player,
No, but-
as a
but-
technical
but-
player,
who's a better,
but it's right, it's
who's a
different
better
rules.
footballer, Pogba or Giroud?
Pogba.
Do you think any manager that has sense will tell Giroud, play to your full capacity, Pogba, just hustle for me? So it's not.
What- again, this is a very-
my
this is a
point
very-
is you're giving Giroud more credit for sacrificing. Nobody will ever tell Pogba to sacrifice more than Giroud because Pogba is more of a protagonist in that team. So
See,
Pogba should not be punished.
My brother,
Pogba should not
my
be
brother,
punished.
nobody's punishing him. You asked a question.
No, but you're saying
I
that.
will finish.
No, but you're saying that leadership. So Pogba is Pogba being punished for being himself?
nobody is punishing him.
Gentlemen.
I said
Yeah.
the Giroud's and life, and the reason I maintained that argument is simple. You said Pogba is one of the protagonists, one of in that team. Griezmann, Mbappe,
Hugo Lloris
Hugo Lloris,
was the captain of the team.
Kante. There are bigger protagonists in terms of their own roles in the team.
Yeah.
Pogba is not bigger than them in terms of these roles, in terms of important roles in the team. He's not. Again, how you even know that is how Didier Deschamps play. Kante is more important.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's true.
They're all
Blaise Matuidi is more important.
Kante is not going to win you the World Cup like Pogba does. This is what we're
No, he
talking
would
about.
actually.
Kante
They all
has won
work together.
Premier League.
Doesn't
Kante
matter.
won Premier League
Doesn't-
title
it
for
doesn't-
Leicester. Came to Chelsea, won it for Chelsea.
Who is the better
What are you saying?
midfielder?
I'm not.
One
I'm not, but I'm
Champions
saying
One Champions League.
Yeah,
He can't win you the
I
World
want-
Cup.
no.
What's he going to show
Kante didn't
after
win.
that?
Kante didn't win them the.
He won Leicester the league.
He didn't win them the league. They also
He
had. They
won
also had.
Leicester
They had
the
Mahrez.
league.
There was a what player?
I know they had
What player
marriage.
of the year?
I know they had marriage. Let anybody come
They
and
had
prove to
Vardy.
me.
What player
Let
of the
anybody
year?
come and prove to me
Gentlemen.
that Leicester could have won that
Gentlemen.
penalty
What player of the
that
year?
league
Without
with
Kante.
Mahrez and Vardy
This is
without
how
Kante.
you learn an argument, right? To know, relax. This is how you learn an argument. To know where
Go
people come
and
from.
sit down. Go
Right?
and sit down.
Who do you think is better?
Kante.
Who do you think is
Against
better
Man
player?
City.
Better
Champions
midfielder?
League. You think
Kante
you
or-
win it
Kante
without
or
him?
Pogba?
No chance.
It's not a trick question.
No, I don't know. I think
he's a better midfielder.
I think, especially in that team, I think you need both.
No, that's
what I'm saying. No, but that's like saying, okay, if that's my. Okay, if I just talk on in isolation, I'll say Kante is the better player than Pogba,
right
overall.
Who do you think is a better player?
Kante.
Who do you think is a better player?
Better footballer, Pogba.
Who do you think?
There's not a chance.
Who do you think is a better
Kante
player?
is miles ahead.
Well, who do you think is a better player?
Kante is better now.
Right. Please let us know who you think a better footballer is, Kante or Pogba. Right. Because
How did you get
that's no.
How did we get there?
We got there because I wanted to establish where you all see
your
that's where your biases come from. Do you understand? Right. So that's that. I wanted to land with gentlemen. You've made all very good. Very good.
No, don't worry.
No,
Please, get on with it.
That's sacrificing himself for the team.
That's leadership.
That's leadership.
I see what you did
I
there,
know you
Mike.
fully well that this man talks too much.
So,
I know him fully well that this man talks too much.
That's
He
how
now
you do.
decides not to talk.
what we've been able to do today.
Until Wale send you to go watch cup.
You see, today's episode is novel, right?
I'm the best.
It's novel because
Oh, look at this idiot.
Get out.
Come on for you.
Why this episode is novel is because today we handshake, we make a, as he called me out of the team and he raised the level of the game.
He's always raised the level.
Raised the level of the game.
He's always raised the level. You know when the level goes, you gotta play Champions League final. You have to come up to this.
So, Emeka, I want to thank you very much indeed, right?
Yeah.
For coming through to the pod. We really appreciate it, yeah?
Always.
And I hope you enjoy the rewards of your holiday, right? Rufai, pleasure indeed as always.
Yep.
Someone said
Absolutely.
Rufai the analyze die. You get. I imagine the Chelsea
People
fan.
now send me money.
Next week.
Forget all this hype.
Exactly. See,
Send me money.
that's where it has to go.
Analyze with passion.
That's where it goes, right? And my mom said Rufai is costing a lot less, so that's really good as well, right?
I've given my
Rufai
life.
is
to
giving his
God. I'm
life
changing
to
my life.
understand. So that's a good thing.
I'm about to get married. So
IBK, I like this new shirt. It looks really good. Never seen it before.
No, don't
But,
worry. For you.
I never seen it before.
IBK selected.
You just have allowed it.
No, because I know maybe I should go bring her for comment session. Say, this
No, IBK is selecting.
This pouch is for your wife, no?
No, that's Miami. Miami color pink.
Right,
That's Miami,
right.
like Inter Miami, it's pink. So,
Okay, yeah.
Are you a Messi fan?
I'm gonna say.
Is anybody in the world? Is anybody in the world that's not a fan of Messi?
Even Ronaldo is a fan
Everyone is a fan of Messi.
I buy Messi, but
What kind of question is that?
I mean, Rooney is my own guy. Rooney is my
Yeah, really my guy Okaka.
Really is
Those
my
two players, yeah.
Hi, what's up?
Ini, thank you very much indeed, right?
Thanks, brother. Thanks,
Showed
brother.
great leadership to sit on the sidelines and conduct things, right? And
Olivier.
just to wrap it up, I wanted to read this meme watch, right? Someone said, say being a private person, is letting them assume. Right? Someone said, nobody cares about your life, guys. Just live your life. Like, what you letting people assume? And someone replied and said, what are facts about girls that wear glasses? And guess the reply. Someone said that they have eye problem.
What were you expecting?
Oh, don't be.
The girls that work, they have.
Say eating pork won't take you anywhere in this world. Someone said pork is not a form of transportation. So why he's not landing. Like, give it up. He's not landing. Do you get? Give it up.
It's not a form of transport.
Gentlemen, I'll see you very soon. Like, share, subscribe. I will see you on Monday. Appreciate it. Enjoy the international break. And if you miss us, share the podcast. We're on 10.1k subscribers on YouTube. Look, if we see if we see 15k this weekend, that will not be bad at all, right?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We'll leave it there. See you soon. Bye.
That if you're playing in number 10 in Amorim system, again, we're going to debate Amorim system whether it makes sense or not. But in that system, you need to be able to cover space wide and central.
He's
Bruno's in the Premier League.
But you know,
Wait. You know why?
In his system, because if you're playing a normal 4-2-3-1, you're playing like an Odegaard or Ozil, and you're playing in the center. Like Palmer, when they play Palmer in the center, you don't need to run. But if you're playing as a dual number 10, because that is our width, you're covering the width as well. You see how Mbeumo and Cunha, they go wide, they come central. That's what he wants. Whether you like it or not, that's what he wants. So Bruno, when he plays in that role, in the Premier League especially, he struggles a lot because he can't run.
So you know why I agree with Meka? The reason in my opinion, I felt like it looks like Bruno is the one bringing Shuan into this system.
Yeah.
Remember when Conte first came to Chelsea? That league he won. And then he lost the figure, and then he lost the Arsenal game. And then he immediately changed to 3 at the back and said, the first person that was the casualty of him changing to that system, if you can remember, was Fabregas. That was the first person that was the casualty of that system. Because Fabregas was the best creator in the team, but he couldn't run.
Yeah.
That was the first casualty. In fact, he got to a point where he felt like Bruno, Conte and Fabregas, they were at loggerheads, and there's no way they're gonna come back. It was a few times Fabregas came from the bench, played well, later on went back to the bench. So because the thing Amorim was playing, I watched the Arsenal game with UB. After the game, I told you, I said United played well, but I think that with the players there, because if you're playing Bruno and all these people, I feel like you possibly would do more with control than with end-to-end that they are playing. So if you're going to go that end-to-end, that system, the reason that system has two people in middle and the wing backs keep flying forward is because you need people that will keep running to, fro. That's the problem. So when you have a guy like Bruno, it's hard.
The irony with Bruno is in this system, he's one of those players, whether he's playing in the central midfield role or even those dual number 10 roles, none of them are a complete natural fit for him. So he's one of those players for me. He is not a, like, you see, like when, let's say in Leverkusen, Wirtz played that position. Even Mount for me is a more natural. No matter what, Bruno is a far better player.
Of course.
But Mount
in that
is a
system,
more
Mount
natural
is
because
Mount is a better fit for that system.
Mount can cover more ground. Mount can go wide. Mount, that's the position Mount won Champions League in. The exact position.
He's a better fit for that system.
Again, Bruno is a better player. But my point is,
what's the actual rule of a number 10?
In Amorim's system, that you're not in Amorim's system is different because there are two. How many teams do you see play with two number 10s?
So this is it, right?
With a normal number 10, you're covering the middle part and you have two wingers.
Wasn't Pep playing with two number 10s?
He felt like that was two number 8s.
When David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne were in the team.
That was a 4-3-3. It's very different. Very, very different. In this system, there are no wingers. So there are no wingers, and when you're playing the likes of, like against Arsenal, it was Dogu and Dallo. So you're not even playing fullbacks at wing back.
Yeah.
So your number 10s have to play wide and come central at the same time. So there's a lot more. It's a lot different to playing like what Abike said. Oh, if you're playing number 10, no. If you're playing number 10, like a traditional number 10, you have two wingers beside you. You're covering only your middle space. You don't need to run. You just need to be intelligent, occupy great spaces. But there's a reason why the likes of Cunha, you see him coming from wide, you see Mbemo coming from wide because that's their job. So you need players that can run. Or else, except like, if again, with Leverkusen, you see Wirtz. Wirtz did that role. He did that role very well because, he can move this and that. But Bruno, again, Premier League, Europa League, even Casemiro was dominating. I'm not counting Europa League like that. But in the Premier League, Bruno scored 2 open play goals last year in the Premier League. Why?
Because the team was poor.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
The team was poor.
Yeah, the team was poor, but it was poor as well. Like, he didn't do anything last year in the Premier League.
No, if the team was poor, then the player is part of the team.
Yeah, so what's the argument about? I'm saying he didn't fit the system.
No. Last year,
Bruno is a world-class player.
Hold on. Right. When you break a system down, what you need to do is break the system down into little bits, right? So the system is a 3-4-3.
Yes.
Right. What's the first demand of the system in the first phase? Right.
In the first phase.
What's the first? So, no answer.
Okay.
Hold. In the first phase, system has a demand.
Okay.
In the second phase, it has a demand.
Okay.
In the third phase, it has a demand. Okay. Right. So to better understand the system, we have to break it down into minuscule parts. Right.
Okay.
In the first phase of the system, what you want in a back three, right, which everybody plays in Europe, actually. Right. All the teams everybody builds in the back three.
Most times.
Right. Yeah. So what you want is, for example, now we play Euro, right? We play De Ligt, and we play Shaw, right? Now, when you play Shaw and Euro, they are pretty much your two. Shaw pretty much plays as the user of the ball. Do you understand? But if you look at the system when we're building, Shaw plays as a left back. When we're building, Shaw. It's simple. Just go and check the average thing out. Shaw plays as a left back, right? Yeah. So effectively, what now happens is you now have Euro and De Ligt almost holding as two central defenders, right? No. Hold on. When the ball is on this side of the pitch, right? That's what happens. When the ball is on the other side of the pitch, now I want to use that same example to go to number 10s. When you speak about ball carrying, right, as the demand of the two number 10s
in Amorim system,
right? One number 10, right, is meant to carry the ball when the ball is switched onto this side of the pitch, right? In build-up.
Yeah.
in build-up.
Yeah.
That's the only time that demand is there on the player.
No.
Bro, relax now. Relax.
I'm saying-
When the ball is on this side of the pitch, right?
Yeah.
What happens is Dogu goes out to hold width
Yeah.
in the team, right? He plays as a winger.
Yes.
The number 10 comes closer to receive the ball from
And-
the centre
and
back
carry.
and carry.
Yes.
That's what. So that's still in build-up. That's in your first phase.
Yeah, but you need to be carry.
Hold on. So the point I'm trying to make is this, right? When your ball is switched onto the other side,
Yeah.
right? If you play Cunha on this side, you play Bruno on the other side. So in build-up, you need only one player to bring that ball up to the pitch. When the ball arrives in the final third, everybody plays in a more natural position. So you don't need two players to continue. You don't need two players at all times to travel with the ball, especially when you have people like Euro coming to midfield. The point is simple. You cannot make a demand on two number 10 and say, oh, they're ball carriers. How many times have Mbeumo carried the ball this season?
That's the idea, is that you have to
No.
people that can do it.
No.
The idea is that you
Relax.
have to people that can do it.
How does Bruno play for Portugal?
He plays
What
a
does
more
he do?
restricted role, 4-3-3, central midfield, number 8.
Number 8, right?
Yeah.
Do you see him just out wide at Portugal?
No, you can't.
No, a lot. You don't know. He does it a lot. The point is this, right? You people think about system
This is
in
a
terms of
build-up.
restrictions and rules, right? Football.
I don't. The manager, your
The
manager
manager-
does.
No.
Exactly.
Your manager does.
Amorim's
I'm not
system.
arguing for anything. I'm saying what
Amorim's
your manager
system
does.
is so. It's like the way. It's
Like,
almost like
it must-
the
it's
way
like
he wants
plug
it
and play.
repeated.
It must be
It's
like
like
that.
repeated patterns. You have to do it like this.
Your
You have to do
manager
it like
does.
this.
That's why he. Even before when we were having this debate, I'm the one that said maybe we should just get one number 10 and get a striker and a midfielder. I said I thought.
Let me give you an example.
We've done that.
Let me give you an example. You see the first goal. You see
Your
the first
manager
goal.
is-
Cannot play number 10.
Your
in this
manager,
system.
I didn't say he can't play.
I can't
I
believe
did
that.
not say he can't play it. I said your manager, there's a reason why your manager spent 150 million on 2 number 10s and plan to play Bruno deeper. He said himself that this year Bruno is going to play deeper. Why did he say that? Because he prefers to have a different profile there. It's not my opinion. It's your manager's opinion.
seen
The
this
reason
before.
United spent money on 2 number 10s.
Your manager said it himself.
Relax. The reason United spent money on 2 number 10s, right, is fundamentally to put more goals in the team, right?
Amorim said it himself.
No.
Amorim said it himself.
Bro.
The manager said it himself.
Mbeumo has been signed. Mbeumo was signed as a fundamentally goal scorer and utility player.
Bro, the manager said that this season he wants to play Bruno deeper. Why? If he wants Bruno at the number 10, why would he say he wants to play Bruno deeper this season? Why would he say that?
You don't have any player to progress the ball. That's why he's playing Bruno there.
Yeah, then what's your argument then?
Jesus Christ. The reason Bruno plays as one of the two is because he uses the ball and progresses the ball better than anybody in the team.
Yes, so then what's your point
Right.
about wanting him
So-
to play as a number 10? The manager says he's not going to play as a number 10.
So the stick you're using to beat Bruno is that can't progress the ball. I'm saying that's wrong.
I did not say Bruno can't progress the ball. I said what he wants.
I think he
what
said
I-
he
what
only
I-
He
said
can't
that
carry. He can't carry the ball. That's what
I
Amorim
think he
wants.
only
in that
said he
position.
cannot
run.
Bruno is an amazing progressor. Of course we
the
know
thing
that.
is,
Like,
what
that's
I'm going to
that's
say
not
is
my
like,
debate.
what I'm going to say is that
I can never be in a
what
conversation
I'm going to say is that
Bruno can do.
I
See,
have
the only thing that Bruno can do in
we have
football,
seen this thing before.
is play
I have seen it.
as a right back.
This is not about me. This is about your. This is what your manager
It's
said.
the Amorim
This
system.
is not
Let me
what
tell
I'm
you.
saying.
We have seen this thing before. Remember,
Bruno can play anywhere.
Joao Mata, Chelsea best player in the team back to back. Mourinho came and said, "I want my number 10 to have legs." That's why
This
Mata
is
went
the
to the
what
bench.
the manager
I
is
said,
saying.
"Oscar is my number 10."
Yeah, and Mata is a much better footballer.
Yeah.
Mata won best player back to back. He
Like
put him on
20
the
goals,
bench.
20 assists.
You understand?
Number.
Yeah,
He said, "I want my number 10 to have legs." He needs
What
to be able to run.
happens is that my tweets.
And that's why Oscar
have the
started.
receipts.
Now,
I said it.
Can
I said it
criticize.
since last season. Ed. For me, I think it is important for United to sell Bruno. I said it clearly. It's not matter. I said if Saudi come with the money, sell Bruno, because what's going to happen is this, right? Every problem that the team has,
Yes.
right, they will fall it back to Bruno, and prophetically,
No.
that's how.
No. He did. I won't agree to that.
No, you guys. You
Yes,
understand?
you're talking about where people would say, yeah.
But I said it before. You get sell Bruno,
You see-
so that you can get a player like for me now, right? This last transfer window this week, it says Saudi are in. For me, if I'm Bruno, I take the money, go and buy Baleba, right? Because he can. If you want runners, put in the team, and I can promise you
on our way here, I was telling in your bong.
that problem will not be fixed.
Look at
This
the-
carry-
look at the-
this run-
Look at the first
It will
goal.
not be fixed.
The first goal Graves scored yesterday. You see that Amorim system, it's either the system
Baba,
it's
that
either the
yesterday,
system
the
is
players were
ridiculously
not up for it. I'm telling you,
wait now. Is it that the system is ridiculously
Yesterday was
faulty?
tactical.
it's not tactical, bro.
Wait now.
I beg.
Is it that the system is ridiculously faulty, or the players are ridiculously struggling with it? That said, I agree that you should not need any kind thing to beat.
It's Grimsby. You should go there and beat them.
That said,
you
also,
don't need tactics.
you don't need. Yes, I agree. But that
So
said,
anybody I see saying that,
Wait
oh, the way he lost Grimsby, he's got taxi. I don't
wait
know what
now.
you're talking about.
But that said, if your system is ridiculously faulty, then that means that it makes it easy for the other team to see the fault as well. Because that first goal they scored, in my opinion, we can talk about the players obviously not being up for it and all that. That goal they scored, in my opinion, is a direct result of the system. Because they won the ball, came forward. The guy could see that United had only 2 centre backs. Only 2.
As opposed to having 4.
And the other guy was standing all alone.
As opposed to having what now 4.
And then switched
in a defensive situation.
There's a reason
In a
it is like that.
defensive situation.
The reason it is like that is because your wing backs
No.
play as wingers.
Wingers,
Against
yeah.
Grimsby, you cannot banalize
Your
it,
3
bro.
backs.
If now against another
Bro,
team, now
like-
fine.
See,
But
Rufai,
now
look,
you about now
the
league
two
relax.
Premier League games.
See,
relax.
The 2 Premier League games that I played. The 2 Premier League games that I played against Arsenal and Fulham.
Yes.
Right?
Yubi,
Nobody
that
has
goal,
talked about the system.
that goal.
No, against Arsenal, there were problems in the system too. It just didn't happen.
Rufai pointed.
The shots this guy
Rufai
scored,
pointed out
the
something
shots
very
Dogu
good.
played.
Bro, no matter what system you play, Arsenal are going to have chances.
Relax. What I'm saying is that, see, if
What was the shot Dogu played?
if something happens consistently,
Yeah.
you have to look at, okay,
What was
there
the
might
shot-
be something going on here. My problem is, how are Grimsby Town able to get in front of
That kind of
United
space.
18 yards,
They wanted him more.
and they
ran
have
more. It's simple.
wait now.
No, Yubi.
You
that
can't tell me
goal,
it's because
in
they
that
wanted him more.
that
That's why they had only 2. That's why you had only 2 centre backs defending.
that particular shot.
You know why?
The-
Because
the-
it's precedent. It happened.
That shot Dogu played.
Yes, you.
Go and
Rufai
watch
was-
it back.
Rufai made a very
For
good.
Dogu
How
to
did
have
he
a
get
chance
against,
to
last-
play that shot,
Ten Hag.
Which one?
Ten Hag.
the shot he played that
We
came
need
up
3-0.
Yeah.
upright
So what
against
happened?
Arsenal.
Which game?
For him to get that
Same
chance,
Carabao Cup.
Arsenal were attacking
We need
United.
3-0.
Dogu stayed. He held with, despite the fact that United were defending. For him to get that chance, that is the system.
Yeah.
So you see, as Arsenal were attacking, if they made good use of that chance, what we are going to be replaying back is, why is Dogu not defending? That is the system.
No.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying.
The system
Yeah, but
plays.
I think I think in that situation, like that is for me is it's part of the risk in the system, and it's
That's
important.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't think what's the
Which is why I
United
am saying
play
that
centre backs,
if
right?
your system, we have seen people
All
play
can play 1v1.
3-4-3 before now.
So you will leave a risk and play
Wait,
1v1.
we have seen
That's the idea. That's
we have
the
seen
idea.
teams play
Like the
3-4-3
idea with
before
your
now.
white centre backs is
We have
so
seen-
simple.
Exactly. They can cover that's all.
We have seen teams play 3-4-3 before now, right? It is not every 3-4-3 that you have one of the centre backs move into midfield for build up. It is not.
Yeah.
In fact, this is possibly the first time I am seeing it with a 3-4-3, where one of the centre backs goes into midfield for build up. When people play 3-4-3, almost every time you attack them, at least you have those 3 centre backs
not how you
in a rest defense.
No, you are not.
At least you have them in a rest
You
defense.
have it mixed up.
The
That's not how you
fullbacks
do it.
is
are
very-
the
The
ones
fullbacks are flying
Yubi,
forward,
Yubi.
and they can come on.
It just-
Sometimes you can
that
catch
goal,
them out.
you-
You understand? You
Yubi,
understand?
Yubi.
But
But
most
the
of the
centre
time,
backs are always
you always have all those centre backs in a rest defense.
If you are being attacked
Because you are-
as a team, you say you are playing 3-4-3 or
Yeah.
whatever system you are playing, you are being attacked as a team, and your players do not find it responsible enough to drop into positions
Yeah.
when the other team is attacking.
Yeah.
That goal was such
No,
a
I thought that goal was embarrassing.
it was
And I agree with
embarrassing
you guys
on,
that
on the system.
and I agree
if
with
the
you guys.
manager is the one
No, you
asking
can't
the
blame
wing
And I
back
agree with
to
you guys
hold
that
it.
the players.
You know what? Do you know why
This is more like
why
analyzing
I
it, though.
disagree in that sense? Because the benefits of a 3-4-3 in that system, like how when last year when we went to Anfield, went to Etihad, went to Emirates in the FA Cup, the benefit is so yes in those kind of games we then lock up like literally a 5-5 at the back,
Yeah.
5-4-1,
Yeah.
right? But the idea of the 3-4-3 is that you take risk. So
Yeah.
that's why you want like a Luke Shaw there, a Euro there that can cover space. So you can actually take that risk that a Dogu and an Ahmad can stay, and then those guys cover the space. So that's the idea. And again, it can pay off, and it's paid off. Like again, against the Arsenal, like I know we lost that game, but you guys, for instance, have not had less of the ball, like possession-wise, I said like in the last few years, whatever. We played very well. Of course, that doesn't matter. But my point is like, it's a risk and reward, right? And
Yes, it is.
that's the
Both
idea.
systems.
And against
Yes, it is.
Grimsby, yes, you have the likes of Fredrickson, Heaven, this and that. Yes, and they were just disjointed. They didn't work out.
Yeah.
But every system has its trade-offs, right?
Of course, now if you listen to what I said it is either the system.
United don't build with the defender in midfield. You actually have that wrong.
What I just said. What I just said. What I just said. I'll pull out when you said it on the group.
No, do you know what? Do you know?
I'll pull out when you said it on the group. So
they actually do most.
They do it, bro. They do it, bro. One of the centre backs. Yeah.
This is so what they do. The idea is that the legs will go in midfield with Ugarte.
You're saying I don't know that. I know that they do it.
So do you know why? But do you know why they do it? Because the idea
because you want to have extra in middle as well.
And the keeper can, because if the keeper wants to build up,
God bless you. God bless you. In the middle. Let me explain. Let me further explain.
So like that is like.
Let me further explain.
So the keeper. So it's they play at the back. So the keeper is the one.
Everybody says almost all coaches build up with a 3. What happens with a lot of the other coaches that build up with a 3 is that one of the fullbacks, right? One of the fullbacks inverts into midfield.
Yes.
With United, none of their fullbacks can invert into midfield. They are the wingers. So one of the centre back does what the fullback that is inverting in the other system.
So when there is
it's a 3 at the back, so but it's not the same.
When there is a quick turnover, the defenders are left in the. You only have 2 defenders, and the fullbacks, instead of being in position,
they are holding width.
Up front, holding
That's
width.
what I'm saying.
So it leaves them horribly exposed.
That's what I'm saying.
They are set up in a way that when they are defending, they become 5 at the back.
Yes.
Do you know?
Of course, no.
When they are defending,
typically for 3 at the back, what should happen is that when
you are defending, it should be 5 at the back.
You should have your fullbacks breaking their neck.
But it's not the same with the system of Amorim.
You understand? It's 3 at the back, but the mechanism is different.
Yeah.
Right? I've explained. With other 3 at the backs, one of the fullbacks inverts. That's how they get an extra man in midfield. With United, your fullbacks cannot invert. That extra defender goes into midfield so the keeper can get a passing lane. That's what happens. So you can't tell me that what I'm saying I got it wrong. It's what happens. So when that happens, if a team counter presses you, there is a chance that they can get you caught with only 2 centre backs.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
And that's what happened with the goal.
That's what happened with Grimsby.
The first
goal. That's what happened.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So I'm talking about the risk of the system. I'm not saying that, the system doesn't have an advantage going forward. I'm saying the risk of it when you're defending, which is why I also agree with you guys that if you're saying the players are not up for it, I agree with that as well. And that's why I said, is it that there's something wrong with the system or the players are struggling with the system? Very much, because I would expect that the wing backs should be breaking their neck to get back into position when they lose the ball. I would expect that even the midfielders should be breaking their neck even when they lose the ball, because that's the concept of 3 at the back. That when you're defending, you have more bodies.
But the benefits of when those wing backs are high is like
when you break,
win the
ball, which is what I'm talking about. Good shots. That's why he got the chance. Exactly. We're saying that's what I'm saying.
The fullback is looking at Cunha and Mbeumo, and there are 2 extra men.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's how Dogu got that chance, because they were attacking United and he stayed.
Ahmad Weke. Ahmad Weke was the one that had to be on Ahmad.
Yes.
And Ahmad kept on skinning him. Yes. Because the fullback is on the inside players.
I know.
So it's just risk and reward, but the players are just not.
I think it's more.
When you say that the system is a problem, right?
No, I didn't say the system is a problem. I said it's either there's something wrong with the system or the players are struggling with the system so much. Because clearly
it is very possible that it's one of the two. It is very possible. And I have a feeling that the players are absolutely struggling with the system.
They are.
Usually when players struggle with system, they just do not do enough.
They are, I think.
They just do not do enough.
Motivation is less.
Because the system requires,
because
the system requires a lot of hard work, either for the wing backs or even for the midfield. You can't play it and be a pedestrian. You have to work hard.
And again, I think that I remember when I was watching Conte's interview when he was talking about how you I mean this 3 at the back stuff. How you need to demand so much during trainings.
That's why they say
probably it might be that they are not training well enough for that style of play, because like you said, for 3 at the back, bro, you need to be very hardworking.
It's like a carousel.
You need to be very, very hardworking for 3 at the back. You need to be very hardworking,
bro. And
I don't think United.
My biggest problem with Amorim's 3-4-3 is, if you see when Crystal Palace play with 3 at the back, because they have a certain guy called Adam Wharton.
That's where
they have Wait now.
Now you are
They have
talking.
Hughes, who is a Hughes never plays against Chelsea without getting a yellow card. I've
He's
never
a
seen where
proper
he
destroyer.
now
He has legs.
Now they now have Eze. You understand? That
They don't
also,
have this again.
No, I'm talking about before you look at this.
But you know the funny thing. You know the funny thing. With Eze, Eze is only one of the only 10 they have that can progress, that can carry. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying, right? So what they now do with him is that they tend to build more on Eze's side. Do you understand?
That said,
So for Cunha, for example, right? Cunha's best position for me is for him to play in that. See
Bench striker.
That's 10. That's no. That's
Left 10.
Left 10, right? Having said that, I still think that Bruno Fernandes should be. I don't care what happens. You say, oh, you have to play left winger, left footer. No, I don't agree with that. Because what happens is, if you can play Bruno Fernandes in that other 10 position, what will eventually happen is that you would pack the midfield and you would also have a potential goal scorer.
believe you me,
The other side.
I have
don't
zero.
believe that.
Believe you me,
Bueno for me should play either wing back or play striker.
believe you me, I have zero problems.
I won't play
with-
Bueno in that 10.
I
You know
have
why?
zero problems
Because
with
he comes
Bruno.
on and
Nobody
offline.
has championed Bruno as much as I have. Just saying.
I
We
remember
want
they do the same things. Yeah, but
we what Amorim
you
currently
don't sign
have.
a player for 71 million.
Why I brought up
pounds.
Oliver Glasner and his Crystal Palace is that when they now need to slow the ball down, they can do it.
Because they have Adam Watson in the
The
team.
this Amorim, and guys, like you saying, I think this United with the players, I don't think you can have Cunha, and what your system demands is that every time you are running. With what Cunha can do with
that's
the
not-
ball.
but that's not what Amorim wants.
Even Bruno.
No, but that's what they currently have to
Amorim
do.
has said a couple of times.
because-
He said sometimes we should be
Yeah.
slower in position. He said
1,
it too
2,
many times. We should hold the ball more. Should be more patient. He has said it too many times. But the question is, do you have the players to do it in midfield? Midfield is fundamentally controlled by people that can do
I
it.
think for me, I think Palace is the way Palace implement it is for me is a lot easier to do because it's a lot more conservative.
Exactly.
And so like they don't have that responsibility to have to take all those kind of
Yeah.
risks. So like they are very, very conservative.
But honestly-
and like when you mentioned Watson of course like as a controller, fantastic. It's better than anything we have as a controller.
He's the best
Watson, but for me,
in the
like
Premier
when
League.
you talk about flaws in a system, the fact that like if we don't get like Baleba now, that we can't play midfield too, right? But like Watson and Will Hughes, they're combative, but like they're not necessarily quick. Like Hughes is not a like they can both cover ground, but like he's not like they are speedsters.
Yeah.
So
No,
but
they are
like,
not speed stars, but Hughes is a really hard
Bro,
worker.
yeah, no,
He goes back-
but we're saying
everywhere.
Amorim system, like we're always saying that we need people that like that's why he's not playing Menu, he's not playing all these guys. Like we're saying that we need guys that can really like run, like runners.
No, you know when
We
we
don't
use
need
run, it's not as per 100 meters win
No,
race.
that's why
it's
we're
as
going-
per have legs,
that's why-
and you can keep going.
That's what we're going for, Baleba
So we need
now.
Baleba, right?
But like I
Who
think
can run,
That
can
Baleba-
tackle,
that Baleba
and carry.
How about we're exposed now?
You wait first. You see.
So me they can't sign McAllister.
Yeah,
They sign
McAllister
You
looks.
say something unique.
You know,
Are you going to go and sign
I
it?
don't understand. So
McAllister
why
is
you
a top
being-
player. He's the top player, but what United need in that role, right? You need two players. One that are two good athletes, right? Casemiro cannot do it for 90 minutes. So that's why we see this season we started the game very well.
Yeah, 68 minutes.
60 minutes too far. By the time you get to 15 minutes, it's done.
That's why I keep saying you need more control.
Then
That's unfair.
also we
That's why I keep saying you need more control.
Bruno is not. He's not built to run that way.
I think what
That's why I keep saying you need more control. You need more control.
Yeah, no, it's not- it's not-
You be what you guys is
not
actually a young guy.
naturalistic,
Follow.
All these guys say they mentioned, they're the old
like
guys.
that goal.
Naturalistic. You can't.
They're the old
You
guys.
said-
Now
you-
old guys.
you-
You need
you
a
said
young
it on the
guy.
And
podcast.
ultimately, he's 31.
You
need a
said
younger
you
midfielder
said it
there.
on
You
Monday,
need-
UB. The goal Emil Smith Rowe scored.
Me, you go sign Pedri.
The goal Emil Smith Rowe scored.
You don't
Bruno
win league
was
already.
in a position
Get
with
out.
Emil Smith Rowe.
You don't win league
As
already.
the ball was about to be playing in, Smith Rowe is an attacking player, so he will make a move.
Naturally follow him.
But Bruno, his
That's not-
awareness,
that's not his
his
instinct.
awareness is not to
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
a player
Yeah.
inside the box.
If Herrera, for example, Herrera will follow you to the end. Herrera.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm putting the fault on the manager. You cannot be
No, it's
playing
not the
a
fault on
player.
the manager. You know why? You
For
know why?
playing the
You know why?
a player
You know why?
of that quality
You have to put it
in
at the
that
end of the
position.
day with the manager.
So look, this
We know that you don't have the players currently, but
How
the
many
reason you
players-
have been brought in is to find solutions.
Realistically, how many players could United have signed this summer? Like, how much did you think United needed this
It
summer?
is true. All of that is
lost.
true.
We did a lot, but I didn't think we could. So that's why I remember I was saying that's why I thought we should prioritize.
More squad, more.
I know
Exactly.
prioritize. So
You
like,
have to
did we need
prioritize.
to, like you were saying with Bruno, did we need to maybe so instead of getting Mbeumo
First, get one in the middle first.
then Cunha, then maybe
Cunha, then get one more. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
United absolutely need Cunha. Yes, I think they
Yeah,
need
they
it.
need it.
Absolutely.
Mbeumo.
Did they absolutely need Mbomo? I don't think.
I don't
they
think so.
absolutely
Why?
needed him.
The argument.
I don't think so.
The
Because
argument.
Because Ahmad-
Because, yeah,
Don't
there's already
understand?
Ahmad.
No.
There's
Even
already
if you
Ahmad.
needed
The
him,
arguments-
you had
And now it is
there was
falling
another
Ahmad-
position that's
Ahmad
more.
progressing the
the
team.
key
The
important.
argument.
United have done these things over and over again.
No,
Oh,
listen.
a player scored 20 goals
No.
at Brentford. They've gone and signed him.
Now that's cliche.
But they do
That's
it
what-
But
all
in
the
this case,
time.
he's right. In this case, he's
No,
right.
they do it
In
all
this
the
case, he's
time.
right.
No.
I don't know about
What
all
happened with
the
Mbeumo?
time.
What happened with Mbeumo is
When
that
else did we do that?
the stats stares you in the face, right?
And
The
he's a
stats
Premier
stare you in
League
the face.
player.
United were not sure. United had missed out on Liam Delap, who was their primary cheap striker they wanted to get, right? So the Mbeumo signing was let's put goals in the team no matter what.
Yeah.
That was the rationale.
but it's wrong.
Cunha is
That's the rationale. We're just
That
saying
was the
it is-
rationale.
That's the rationale. We're just saying it's wrong.
Let's put goals in the team, and guess what, right? I don't think anybody can sit down here and say
I
that.
don't know
Oh,
if it's wrong yet. I don't think it's wrong.
I don't know.
No, we're
I don't
saying
think
it's
so.
wrong.
I think Mbeumo is a fantastic player.
It's hindsight now. We're not at the time. At the
don't know
time,
if
it
it's
felt
wrong.
like
I don't know if
no.
it's wrong yet.
No, today we're talking about today. We're talking about today. We don't know about tomorrow.
With the money available.
Yeah.
With the money available.
That's
the
what I'm saying
quality
now.
of the
In
squad-
hindsight,
But I
it's
can also
wrong.
understand why they say, you know what?
Yeah.
We'll get more out of
Kushida.
Bruno in this role.
If I have Ahmad,
Ahmad, yeah.
Yes.
That's why we're saying the rationale is wrong. Today, I don't know about tomorrow. Today,
No, man, I don't do
the
that. I don't
ration-
do that kind of analysis.
the rationale is wrong.
I don't know that kind of analysis.
Because I will not see. Now we have established.
Let's start.
We have established.
It came to Liverpool. I didn't think we left Florian Wirtz. See, there's nothing you want to tell me.
We're not talking about you
You
lots.
don't have a CV.
When you lose 2 games, we'll come out and talk about that. Let's do one.
start
You
this
did win
weekend.
for St.
The
James
first-
Park.
You will come good.
Let's
don't
go.
worry.
Let's go.
All this one I say is because you don't play 2 games. You will come good.
Let's go.
But they thought they don't record now.
I know we don't need to come. Let's start. Let's.
But you don't need it now.
Let's
Like,
make
when
it
you begin to do production, you don't like production.
Let's
you
make
leave
it
production to
official.
production people.
I don't understand. This nonsense way they talk
Ivan,
all the time.
if
Person they work with you every time. You say when you start doing the
Ivan.
production, what is he doing?
No, it's production person. Now, right now, we production person.
Production killer.
So this one what will they do now? Waiting.
Jimmy, they born and born production.
Let's start the show. The show has already started.
IBK
He
the
won't
fuck up.
when you go take act.
IBK the fuck up.
He won't when you go take slam
He want me to tell her say. He want me to tell her say. Sound rolling. Silence on set speed. Action.
We can't do Man U much again. We're already almost done.
Right. Let's go. All right. Oh man. What an interesting.
Good that Emeka is on the table.
Please.
I tell you
What
now.
kind of timing is that, man?
Amorim.
Honestly,
Every
without
time.
this Grimsby game, right? I don't have a problem with this thing. You understand? United players, they were not up for Grimsby.
Sack the manager.
What does that mean?
Sack the manager.
I said, if I wear shit,
Let's start the
beat
show.
those guys.
Let's start the show.
I'm not sacking Amorim.
Let's start the show.
But
How are you
for a
losing?
League 2 side?
How are you losing to Grimsby?
It's a result that's unforgivable.
Now League 2.
I can still
They are
understand.
40 this thing. League
let's
2.
go. Let's go.